look at that. Yeah, my editing skills are not super fast. So if I hit record at the same time, then I don't have to spend time lining everything up. So
Gotcha.
we're good on that end. So yeah, we'll get started. Do you have any questions or anything like that?
No, I'm good.
All right, wonderful. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Absolutely. So we'll start out where everybody else does. Let's talk about at the early ages to about middle school. What were we getting into activities wise, sports, and everything else?
I mean, really, my childhood, I was born into poverty. So I really didn't have the convenience of playing like recreational sports.
Okay.
So I really didn't start playing sports until I got into pretty much middle school.
Okay.
To where I could like really start participating at school. So like most people, right? They do this stuff from childhood. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? From the time they're 3, 4, 5, they can throw a ball. You know what I mean? They're out there practicing or playing, flag football and all this type of stuff. But for me, I didn't get to do any of that until I reached 7th grade, pretty much.
Okay. So what did before middle school look like for you? You had school, and then what was at home for you?
I mean, for me, man, it was a constant struggle. Like I said, I was born into poverty, so it was me. My mom had six kids. May she rest in peace. She died November the 14th, 2014. Well, November the 19th, 2014. And you know what? Off topic, but on topic.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, right? Because on my mom's deathbed, I promised her that I would do my best to help influence and change the world to the best of my ability. At that time, in 2014, I did not know how that would happen.
Yeah.
But I knew that was my goal.
Absolutely.
And I was going to do whatever I would or could to keep that promise to her. But back to the past. So, my mom had 6 children.
Yeah.
3 boys, 3 girls. I was pretty much the oldest boy.
Okay.
I have a sister 2 years older than I am. When it comes to intellect or being driven or being, the kid that would be the one to succeed in life, theoretically speaking, I was that guy.
Okay.
Or I was that child. I was that chosen one, right? I didn't ask for that to be put on my shoulder. That's just who I was.
Yeah.
Now, once I discovered, right, that my mom didn't have much, me growing up as a child, what did my childhood look like? To be honest, people laughed at me. Look, I didn't have shoes to wear to school, clothes to wear to school. We didn't have running water at times. There was times I missed meals. I mean, nobody helped my mom, no family, no friends. I mean, I had a few relatives like an uncle, aunt that kind of helped. But when I look back, right, I just turned 40 this year. And how I raised my kids, every summer my kids feed the homeless. We go to different stores and, hand out school supplies to parents that are, less fortunate. I take them down around in Houston, Texas to work sites and let them give workers in the heat cold water, cold beverages, food to eat, hot food, cold food. So it's just one of those things where me being who I am now and how I raise my kids, right? It's very difficult for me to look back and to really me being a kid, because I've always been blessed years beyond my time. And I still can't wrap my mind around why no one came to help, right? Because, it's like, why or how or why didn't anybody, how no one could at least have the, mental, or you just want to see the kids do well. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But so nobody.
Was this in rural Texas? Was this in where?
Well, this is actually in Starkville, Mississippi.
Okay. Okay.
So this is in Starkville, Mississippi. So at that age, of me growing up, right? I had to learn very quickly that that regardless of anybody helped me or not, guess what? I had to get it done.
Right.
So when fast forward years later, and I know we got a whole lot to go through, right? But
yeah,
everything that I do has been put on my shoulders based on my childhood memories and what I had to go through, right? Being a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old chopping wood because we didn't have central heat.
Yeah.
You know, carrying water. We had to put water underneath the sink to let water out of the kitchen sink to wash dishes.
Wow.
So buckets was under the sink. We had to let the water out, and me, I had to carry it outside to the back.
Yeah.
To the bushes, right? To empty it. You know, so again, me being 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, being the oldest child, right?
Yeah.
Being the one that had enough knowledge and intellect to know what was going on, but still had to carry on. Now, in addition to all of that, right? I was blessed. I was blessed. Like, I was blessed. Like, not my brothers and sisters, because they didn't end up as well off as me. Yeah. Or they didn't have the mental intellect or the mental fortitude that I'm blessed with. Because and the whole point that I'm making is, like, I didn't have people to help me with my homework. You know, like, my kids are fortunate now because I'm intelligent enough. I graduated with a 3.92 GPA. And I know we're going to go through all of that. But when I was growing up in grade school, either I knew how to do it or either I didn't. Yeah. So I had to pretty much study. Not to study to know the stuff. I had to study to ensure that I could be successful. And at that young age, again, I was blessed beyond my years to know that I wanted to be something different. And me being that young, my only goal growing up was to always show my mom, may she rest in peace, baby, that she was somebody. Yeah. Regardless how the world tried to show herself to herself. You understand what I mean? Because people, the world, I would say, is designed to ruin us. Because most of the world will put more effort into showing you what you did wrong versus showing you what you did right. And I spent most of my days, guess what I spent most of my days doing? Patting myself on my back. You know, I didn't wait. And I'm going to tell you factually, nobody came to me to say congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Now, while we're on this topic, my son is 17. He's about to graduate. He'll be 18 on November the 26th. A few years back, I asked him, I said, son, I need you to tell me, out of everybody that exists on the globe, right? It's billions of people.
There's a lot of them.
How many people have told you that they're proud of you? How many people have told you good job? How many people have told you they want to see you successful? He looked at me, he said, you know what, Dad? Mom, Dad, the coach, and our pastor. 4 people. 4. Cuatro. 4. 4 people. My son said, those are the 4 people. And I said, now look at that ratio. Out of the billions of people that are walking this earth, I didn't answer the question for you. I let you answer the question, because when you ask that question and put that in their heart, in their mind, and in their responsibility to answer, it hit them different. So 4 people out of the billions have told you that they want to see you successful. So what does that tell you? That explains why most people don't become the best versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Because most people, again, don't possess the mental fortitude to push through the hard times. Because if only 4 people told my son that they want to see him successful, if he did not have me as his dad, you feel me?
Oh, absolutely.
To show him that you don't need anyone to tell you good job other than yourself, guess what? He would already be ruined.
Yeah.
So that's what I did most of my days growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't wait, or I couldn't wait, or I had no choice but to always look in the mirror, right, and tell me, you're great. You ran a touchdown. You're great. You made an A+. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Guess what? You lasted without eating for a few days. You're great. Guess what? You chopped wood at the age of 6. Man, you are the man.
Yeah.
You missed meals. You are the man. Your mom was less fortunate and she couldn't give you shoes to wear. Man, it was one morning a bus came and I was walking, no shoes, to go to somebody else's house to get some shoes. The bus literally came and I missed the bus. So I had to walk down the street, no shoes on, get the shoes, and somebody else had to take me to school. But it's stuff like that, right? That again, I had to look in the mirror and say, look, man, you're gonna make it. You got what it takes.
So where do you think that mentality came from? Did it start at a young age and it grew, or you just had it? Like was it somebody you saw that's like, hey, this is what you got to do? But I mean, it sounds like it was all self.
Yeah, man. Like that's what people don't understand, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It was genetics, man.
Yeah.
It was already intertwined in my brain. Like, I got a YouTube channel, which is The Lion Experience.
Yeah.
But I've posted a lot of different videos, but I'm gonna post my next video that I'm posting is gonna be about how hard work only beats genetics, right? When genetics chooses not to work.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, what people don't understand, genetically, each person is built to withstand whatever their gift is.
Yes.
Whether it's swimming, whether it's singing, whether it's running 100 meters fast, whether it's playing ice hockey and getting hit at full speed. I mean, literally, I know a guy that literally jumps 20 feet from the air and his feet still hadn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the whole point that I'm making is the body, your body, like my body and your body and anybody's bodies that will be watching this.
Yeah.
The body is built to withstand. Like me, I sat in a 200-degree heat sauna for 2 hours straight. So literally now, and I did 4 hours straight. I've done so much, but I'm just mentioning this right now just to really explain how my body is already built to withstand heat genetically. Now, for me to be able to do this is factually, genetically, my body is already adapted or built to withstand high temperature. Now, for the other person that isn't genetically built to withstand heat, more than likely they would die, overheat, have a stroke, have a heart attack, and the list goes on.
Not going to be a good day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you could build yourself up to what I do, but you would never be on my level until I choose not to put in work. But you can look at all the greats, you know, still on topic, but off topic, but you can look at all the greats to where each person chose their line of work based on their genetic build. And that is why most people flourish who have great coaches, great teachers that lead them to help them find what it is they're good at. Yeah, you may have played basketball in high school, you get to college, you play football, end up playing receiver, now you go to the NFL. Had you did that growing up, you would already know that was your strong point.
Right.
And the same thing with me. Me being driven, me having the mental fortitude, right? That's a genetic trait.
Yeah.
I didn't have, and you know, I always ask people, had I had a me for me? No lie. Because I help so many people across the globe every day. People flood my inbox, ask me questions about fitness, health, relationship, life, marriage, just any type of thing. And I'm here to help. But if I had a me, even now, I don't even really have a me now. Yeah. But if I had a me 30 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, but I had to become a me for myself. You see what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of like, and when you do something like that, this sounds crazy. I do a lot of talking to myself.
That's good.
A lot of self-talk. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because how I see it, and I tell people, I will post all day on my Instagram feed, or my Facebook feed, or my Twitter feed, or my Snapchat feed, or my TikTok tweet, because feed. Because you know why? I don't care where the positive influence comes from.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm reading 10 posts from you. If they're all filled with positivity,
yeah,
let's get it. I'm not looking for a billion other people to feed me good.
Mm-hmm.
All I need is one. And even if that one has to be me,
mm-hmm.
it's going to be me. And you know, and the whole point that I made that because I see so many people get angry for seeing a person post more than once or more than twice. But why would I scroll down a list, right, and get angry at you for posting 10 positive things? I don't care who posted. It could be 10 different people. That's 10 positive posts, or it could be one person. That's 10 positive posts. Either way, if it's meant for me to take it in and grow from it, I don't care where it comes from.
Yeah.
But back to the original question, literally, it's genetics, man. Like, me personally, I'm a gorilla, man. I'm a lion. Like, really, that's just
what it is.
I'm a born competitor. Like, literally, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's so crazy, right? I would be running, and I would see a bird flying over my head, and I would race that bird. Like, it's so crazy. But until it's even like when I'm running, right, and I got a runner behind me. Natural instinct, right? Like when you're a true lion, when you're a true beast, the guy behind you, he knows you're a lion because guess what? He gonna try to catch you. And when he finally make it up to you, guess what he gonna say? Man, I tried to catch you, man, but you were moving too fast, man. I say, I already know, baby. I knew what you was doing.
Yep.
But it's that good camaraderie, right? Because when you're surrounded by people like that, guess what? You never get a rest day. You never get comfortable. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like me personally, I want to be surrounded by great people, lions, baby. And again, that's genetics, man. Nobody taught me that.
Yeah.
I just grew up wanting to be an overachiever. Like, for real. So if there's anybody out there that's wondering, baby, like literally, I was like, everybody does different things to become great, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's nothing that you naturally want to do, you would never really become your best. Because it has to come from a good place. No man can make me go harder than I want to go.
Right.
You feel me? No human, no coach, no person can make me go harder than I want to go. You can't make me give 100%. Nobody can make me give 100.
Yeah.
Until I want to give that 100. And me being born and gifted with that ability. I was gifted with that at birth to be genetically engineered to want to overachieve in a class. When I was in high school or grade school, guess what? I did so well. I was the type of guy that I'm in algebra class, right? When we doing problems, guess what? You can't even play no more, man. Sit down. Antonio, you can't even play no more. Because I'm the one answering the problem so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just who I am. I'm the guy that sit down and take a test, right? I'm the first one finished. It's just in my mind, like, get done. Like, it's crazy because you gotta become, being born that way, you gotta and for a person that's born that way, everybody else grows up, right? And you know what their goal is, right? To do what I do naturally.
Yeah.
You know what my goal is though? To slow down.
Okay.
You see what I mean? My goal is I'm so high driven, I'm so over the top, right? Because everything that I do is 150%.
Right.
I've had to not partake in certain tasks because I'm the guy that when I start something, I don't stop till I'm finished.
Yeah.
So if it's not something that is gonna really benefit me in a positive way,
for sure,
I gotta like not even do it. I'm the guy that if I'm in your group, I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna let you get credit.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do the work. Because I want to ensure that I get my A+++.
Right.
Now I'm gonna take your input and then I'm gonna still edit it.
For sure.
And I'm gonna let you, do your thing and proofread it. And then I'm gonna edit it again.
Yeah.
But that is back to the original question, baby, genetically embedded in my brain. You know, it's crazy. I'm gonna say this, right? And then we're gonna move on. But I read an article about, it was like at least 15 years ago, probably longer.
All right.
But the article said, if indeed you lock down, incarcerate, put them under the ground, the 10 most successful, driven, hungry people, lock them up, throw away the key. When you let them out 10 to 15 years later, guess what? They're gonna wreak havoc, and they're still gonna end up surpassing everybody that is out free. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. That is 1,000% true, because I'm gonna just give you one example. I ran last year 3,400 miles in a year. So 3,400 miles in a year. Now, you got to understand that equates to about 10, 11 miles per day, or even more. Yeah. That's clean across the United States. Because from East Coast to West Coast to the furthest point to the United States is 2,800 miles. And the whole point that I'm making is, for people like me, like for real, like people like me, right? When I go to the gym and I do 10,000 ab reps, 10,000, 4,000, even 1,000. Do you know it's people that's been living for a whole 50 years and never have done 100 ab reps, never have ran 10 miles, for real. Yeah. Like, here I am, ran 3,400 in a year. Look, back in, well, I know I'm getting ahead, man, but
no, I like it.
But the whole point that I'm making is, man, lock us down, throw away the key, because how we work and the things that we do, is what I consider hard is gonna be impossible to somebody else.
Yeah, you tell someone to run that much.
Somebody look at me like, dude, like, I haven't done 10,000 and I've been living a whole 80 years.
Yeah.
So that statement right there, man, like, hit me like hard, because that's how I live my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, everything that I do it so high level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, even when I was in college, right? I made a 102 and a 103 in English Comp 1 and Comp 2 at Mississippi State. High profile college. My English teacher told me I was the most intelligent, most prolific writer she ever met in her life. Now, what was most prolific about me? My teacher would give me an assignment, like right now. I would go home in my dorm, write a 8, 9, 10, 15-page paper, no rough draft, in one night. Turn it in the next day. Literally. So when I say I'm over the top, when I'm so precise, when I really lock in, that's how I lock in.
Yeah.
And that statement that I just made, like, even when I'm giving 50%, if I give 50, like, if I'm giving you 50%, that's better than most people 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying I'm giving you 50%, I'm giving you 5,000 ab reps. Hold up, I'm giving you 50%. That means I'm giving you 5,000 still. And this man giving you 100%. He's giving you 100.
Right.
Even if I say I'm gonna give you 50% of my 3,400 miles I ran, that's about 1,700 miles.
It's still pretty far.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So when you were going through elementary school, middle school, high school, at what point did you see that you were different, that at what you had going on was just different?
You know what, man? This is how, when you really find out you're really just beyond your years. Because again, I've always been a guy that's been in charge of my own life. You feel me? Mm-hmm. When I was in the 9th grade, I remember just like yesterday, I went to my, I took accelerated classes all my years. So, you got the basic courses, then you got math, accelerated, physics, so accelerated.
how'd you test into those? Did the teachers see that you're like, hey, like he's crushing it, and at what
Bro,
age
like,
did they recognize that this is
you know
what we had
what?
going on?
Until this day, I think they just knew, bro. Like,
Yeah.
just my grading, you know, I from my previous years.
Right.
Just how well I was doing in school. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my 9th grade year, what I did, I was in physics, right? And you know, and again, this is crazy, but it's true, man. And sometimes, and people don't understand this until you get on my level. Sometimes, like when I told you earlier, like 10, 15 minutes ago, I said it was gifted for me to be this great guy, right?
Yeah.
This was already handed to me. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
So there comes a time in our lives, like the gifted people's lives, that some of us are like, I don't want this life, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be smart, dude. Like, no, this, I don't, you want me to be smart. I may possess it, but I don't want it. I don't want to be treated as a next level intelligent kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be seen as a prodigy. So what I did was I said, you know what? I don't even want to be in accelerated anymore. So I went to the, now this is going to be crazy funny though. So I go to the counselor, right? Because you know, accelerated class, they move faster and you do more work in a short period of time. So therefore you end up doing way more work over the course of 9 weeks. So what I did, bro, I went to the counselor and said, look, I want to go to the regular classes, basic classes.
Yeah.
Bro, the worst mistake I ever made in my life, bro. Like, no lie. I went to the basic chemistry class, physics class, man. And as soon as I got into class, bro, guess what? Everybody want to cheat off my paper. Like, bro, I'm in there mud about sleep, and I'm sleeping in accelerated classes, like real.
Yeah.
Now, I'm the guy that sleeps in class, but he still makes an A or a B, A plus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm so bored. Like, my mind is always moving.
Right.
So I moved to the, like, base regular class, and I'm in the class like, man, they moving too slow, bro. Like, I'm sitting there like, teacher, could you speed up a little bit? Like,
yeah,
you are moving too slow. Everybody want me to be their tutor. Everybody want to do this. Everybody want to come to me for help. I was like, nah, bro. I went back to the counselor like about a week later. I said, you know what? Put me back in all accelerated classes again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a moment in my life where I discovered. Because again, when you start, and this is what people don't understand. Like, I tell people this all the time too, like, if you create your own storms, you will be more successful. Because you know why? You're more prepared for it. If you don't sit back and wait for things to happen. So by me going to my counselor, right, I was prepared for that storm. Mm-hmm. I created it. I was in control of my life, totally. I went to her, told her what I wanted. It didn't work out, and I twisted. So me making that decision or those decisions gave me a foot ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Because 99% of kids, you know what they do? Like, no lie. Even when I went to college, I didn't let no counselor ever pick my classes.
Really?
Never. I chose everything.
Yeah.
Most people let a counselor pick and you do this, they done. Same thing with high school. They put you in these classes and you're done. You never really have a feel of control. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you had it planned out. You knew what you were doing. Exactly.
So when it comes to so that's my intelligence, right? My mental, my brain, my internal. Physically, now, and I'm telling you this now, if I could have now, like when I was in high school, I hated long distance. Mm-hmm. Like I hated it. But when I think back, I was always the kid that did extra.
Yeah.
I worked out and look, when I got to school, I worked out in the morning. I worked out on lunch break. I worked out in gym class. I worked out before practice. Before my parents came to pick me up, I worked out again. Mm-hmm. So I was, even when we raced or when we ran, I was always the guy that picked up speed as I went.
Yeah.
Even my senior year, I ran the 300-meter hurdles just for fun. But it was totally for fun. But and I didn't even take it serious. But I still was able to keep up with the state champion. So when I go back and think like me now, right? Because that's all I run now over time. But you know, there's a lot of great people. There was another guy that I can't remember his name right now, but he wasn't the fastest guy, but he basically learned that he had the ability to run far and just run miles on miles on miles. But he learned it when he turned about 30 something.
Yeah.
And the whole point that I'm making about me is, like, I didn't learn until that I really possessed that trait until I was 30 something.
Yeah.
Because because the farthest I had ran in my life was 6 miles. And that was back in when I was about 27, 28, 29. Even when I was in the military, I didn't run more than 6 miles. But the longest I ran before I really learned that I possessed it was 6 miles. But when I think back to my high school days, now what I know now, I put all of it together to where back then I always knew that even some days I would just take off running from my house and just go running miles up the street and back just for fun.
So what did workouts look like before school, after school, before practice? Was this something you saw from a magazine? Was it just push-ups, sit-ups, air squats? What'd you have going on there?
So for me, man, back then, like literally, I didn't have a magazine. I didn't even have like TV to really know stuff like that. So for me, man, I knew, like, it's so crazy, right? I powerlifted and stuff. So I was just naturally gifted to kind of know what I needed to do. Obviously, you have, but like my workouts in the morning consisted of bench press, squats, but I was always doing extra stuff, like just making it kind of different, doing dips a certain way, doing pull-ups a different way, doing just more reps. You know what I mean? Like I do now. Like I said, 10,000, just tweaking normal exercises. Just taking it just one step further. Because even for me, like, I'm the king of simplicity. Like everything I do now is real simple. Like, so really, and that's in the future too, but even back then, I just naturally knew what it took to progress, to be better. Now, and it goes back to even back then and now, how coaches are more knowledgeable. They lead. You got people that actually teach you about the cardiovascular system, cardiovascular training, the lungs, the diaphragm, heat shock proteins, VO2 max, you know what I mean? Glycogen storage. Like, bro, I didn't know nothing about eating bananas and stuff, pasta to give me fuel back then. Like, kids nowadays, they're like, coaches are actually you see what I mean? Like, and it's crazy. And it's crazy that you could be so, when you look back, like me, when I look back, I'm like, dang, like nobody truly really helped us. The people that was good back then, like, no lie, we were just naturally good.
Well, and if you look at the times, like they're not, like people's times are not improving by that much by the amount of technology and the amount of knowledge that they know. Like that just shows like there's something different.
You know what I'm saying? So we just naturally, we did, and it's so crazy when you really look at it. We just put in work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, like, we just worked. Because in the end, like I said, if you take a genetically gifted person and they just work, they're going to get better. If you take a basic person and they work, guess what? They're going to get better. I mean, literally, if the only way either one of those people don't really get better is if they do nothing. Even if you're not doing exactly what you need to do to get better, as long as you're doing something, guess what? You're still gonna get better some way. Even if it's not by much, you're still gonna improve. You see what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, man, I was just naturally gifted to, when I say gifted, I possess the ability to have the drive to do something better for myself. You know what I mean?
So when you always had that drive, was there any points other than during that school time where you wanted to go back to the regular classes physically where you're like, maybe this isn't for me, like maybe I got to slow down? Was there any lows as far as like middle school to high school, as far as like the fitness and all that stuff went?
I mean, really, man, like I was like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I was like, man, it's so scary, man. Like I was like one of the, an ideal athlete, bro. Like growing up, like I did everything like perfect, bro. I never missed practice. Like, no lie. Like, anybody that knows me, really what cost me my football career, I got turf toe.
Okay.
My senior year. I mean, I was the guy, like, here's the moment that I can really just talk about my high school career, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, really, I was the guy, man, that played every position. Kickoff, punt. I really never left the field. Kickoff, punt return. I mean, I played strong side corner. I played tailback. So literally, man, I was like a guy with, I played quarterback some. But my senior year, I was only going to play tailback.
Yeah.
I was only going to play tailback, man. And I got turf toe. And that cost me my career.
Yeah.
What was your initial question?
No, I was just wondering what was there any times where there was like lows in your sports where you like the push through wasn't there 100%. What it sounds like a majority of the time.
Yeah. So basically, during high school, the point I was making was I was like the premier athlete, man. I ate good.
Yep.
I didn't do drugs. I didn't do none of this, man. Like, my goal was to again go to college and play football. Like, that was my goal, right? Like, naturally, like it was already embedded in me from the beginning of my childhood, right? To be better, to be this guy. So I did everything right. Until I was good in school. I mean, my grades were great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I never missed practice. I ate the right foods, man.
So
I trained efficiently.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like ever have a off moment because I was dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Now my senior year, after I got injured, right? That was like my hard moment. Now, it wasn't like a moment to where I wanted to do something different per se, but that was the turning point in my life.
Okay.
So that, no lie, now that my senior year, that was a turning point in my life, because I say turning point because at that moment, right, you saw how driven I was, right? You saw everything I overcame. Poverty, no food, no clothes, nobody helping me, being intelligent in school, just being driven, doing all this crazy stuff, man. And that was the first time in my life, man, where what I had been working all these years for was taken away.
Yeah.
Like, literally, at that moment, because I felt like even now, I'm a machine. Like, I'm a machine. I'm a lion. I'm a gorilla. But the thing is that people don't understand, even machines break down.
Mm-hmm.
Even machine needs to be rebuilt. You feel me? So that was the first time in my life where, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say this, that the first time where God really showed me that if you truly want to be something different in life, now I'm about to test you. You had 17 years, literally from the, mentally, whether it's physically or not.
Yeah.
You had 17 years to train and do this for football. And guess what I'm about to do right now? I'm about to take it. Just like that. You gave everything. Like, I ate and drank football, baby.
Yeah.
That was everything. When I say everything, I'm talking about everything, man. Like, I talk about football. That was my life, bro. That was my lifeline. I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I cried, baby. I cried. And I don't cry.
Yeah.
That was one of the first times I ever cried in my life. I cried, my guy. God said, you know what? I'm about to test you because I tested you with poverty, right? You overcame it. People laughed at you. You overcame it. You did all this stuff, but you still overcame it. But you love this. Love, my guy. I love football. And it was one of those things where when he took it, I never questioned him, though. But it made me realize, bro, at that moment, being 17, that it doesn't matter how hard you work in life, you could always lose it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be taken away at the split moment. So at that moment, I lost that battle. When God tested me, I lost it because I stopped showing up for practice. The guy that never missed practice.
Yeah.
I never showed up anymore. I was injured, but even then I wasn't coming to watch people go through the motions or,
right.
to really still take in the stuff.
So what caused the turf toe? Was it weak?
So basically, and again, I wouldn't change this, and I'm still built this way, baby. I'm still a machine. I wouldn't change this moment. And this is how genuine and how driven and how crazy and how great that I truly will be one day. I'm still great now, but I still got levels to go. I'm gonna tell you, man, like when I was the guy behind everybody, right? I was waiting for the next man to lose. I needed my time, baby.
Yeah.
So I was the guy that we was having two-a-days before the season started. So the coach needed somebody to go back in. And guess who that was? Come on, I'm a beast. Feed me, baby. Yeah. Feed me. I'm going in, coach. Everybody else sitting on the sideline. Bruh, like, you mean to tell me you're not going to give me no rest? Guess what, baby? I don't need no rest. Put me back in, coach. We got a few plays left. They should have been in. I didn't question it, though. Guess what? Put me back in, coach. I'm in, baby. We've been practicing 2-3 hours. Everybody else still sitting on their helmet. Guess what? Put me back in, coach. Theoretically speaking, I shouldn't even been in practice, but I'd already put my time in.
Right.
I was a starter. I shouldn't even been. But, you know, and it's crazy on this conversation, too. I never had the big head.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm driven.
Right.
I'm top tier. I'm going to give 1,000,000,000% every time. I don't care whoever's sitting next to me. You don't need to come in, baby. Keep feeding me. Other people get the big head and want to sit down. Oh, man, I'm too good to practice. Not me. So I got in on this last play. Last play, bro. How cliche. Just like in the movies. Last play of the practice, man, they hand me the ball. This guy, I'm like 5'6", man. This guy's like 6'2", bro, hit me. We stood up. I'm a beast, though. Had I been a gazelle, I would have just fell down. Yeah. Had I just fell down, I wouldn't have got injured. But me being the gorilla that I am, baby, guess what? You not taking me down. And when we collided, we stood up, and instead of my feet sliding out from under me, I fell forward and my toes bent backwards. And they had to carry me off the field. So my big toe bent back in the opposite direction.
Damn.
So literally, we tried like so much, bro. I went to like doctors, surgeons. I got metal plates in my shoes and all types of stuff, man. But I mean, I come back, and then once I get pressure put on, it was re-injured. Yeah. So it was just like, yeah, man. So really, that's what happened, man. But I wouldn't change that moment, baby. Put me back in. Like, I would never, bro, lessen my greatness to not fail. Because I read some other day and said, I can deal with failing, but I can't deal with not trying. Mm-hmm. There's a difference. I would give you 1,000,000,000%, and if I fall short, let's get it, baby. We did it. But I'm not going to not try to let myself win. No, I'm not that guy. Mm. You see what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And there are people that exist that do those type of things. You know, there was a guy that was in college that did that exact same thing. Like, I'm gonna take my last year off in college so I don't get injured. But guess what? He still ended up getting injured in the NFL. The first year. And he was out a couple of years. Yeah. You feel me? So, bro, like, either you a gorilla or you a gazelle, my dude. Like, yeah. Don't try to dance around who you are. Mm. Because what's for you is going to be for you. Like, it wasn't meant for me to play football. Yeah. It's meant for me to do what I'm doing right now. Because if it was not, I wouldn't be in front of you right now. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Yeah. That's how you got to see life, baby. You got to learn to appreciate what's in front of you. And understand what's in front of me right now. This was meant for me, baby. Because guess what? Had I went and played football, this moment wouldn't happen. Nope. You feel me? And those are the type of conversations that I tell people when I meet them and when I inspire them and I encourage them to do better. Had I taken a different route, you wouldn't be in front of me right now. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Yeah. Had I allowed a storm to defeat me, you wouldn't have came across me to be interested in what I do. Yeah. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? And when I do something like that, that's like a home run with people. Mm-hmm. Because most people never look at life that way, man. Most people don't have the intellect, which is, I'm not going to say that's bad or good, but most people don't have the intellect to know, like, dang, had I took that ride I'd probably be dead right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, for me, I'm gonna tell you, and then we're gonna get back. And the whole point that I'm making, one morning I went to run, right? And my water pump wouldn't stop working. Most people would have been like, I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna call the tow truck, forget my run. I'm gonna go get my truck fixed, and then I'm gonna go to work. You know what I did? My water pump stopped working right there in the parking lot. Guess what I did?
Ran to work?
I said, man, I'm about to finish these 10 miles. Once I got finished the 10 miles, I found a jug. God, baby. It was a jug in my truck. What I did was I went and put water in the jug. I poured the water in my truck. And I said, you know what? If it's meant for me to make it to the car lot, I'm going to make it. I poured the water in my truck, man. I drove from down 290 here in Cypress, Texas, back to the car place. And I had to take my wife to work too. So all this had to happen. So I drove my truck to the car lot. My wife met me there, and I was still able to drop her off and get her to work on time.
Wow.
But it goes back to show, man, like, again, like, I didn't allow that moment to control me or to ruin me or define me or cripple me. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, or a lot of the, I'm going to say most of the world, have a difficult time doing. Like, being in a bad situation, but not appreciating that bad situation, because had you not been in that bad situation, there would be an even worse one waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, not wrong. So from high school, football is kind of out of the picture. What does college look like? What's going through your head? What are you looking for as far as next steps go?
Oh man, so now, bro, I'm like, like, I wanted to be an architect. Now this is a whole nother level, but I'm gonna tell you this right. I wanted to be an architect. Yeah. Still, that's my passion outside of what I do now. But my initial, I can draw real well.
Okay.
And I'm into anime. Dragon Ball Z, baby. Vegeta. Come on, baby. Dragon Ball Super. That's me all my life. I've been watching it 20 years, baby. I will never stop. So I'm into animation. So when I originally went to college, my original major was animation.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't really like freehand drawing. That's not really my thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I end up, and I'm good at math and all this stuff. You know, I got other things that I do well too. So I ended up switching my major to computer engineering. Damn. But then I was like, I cannot see myself sitting in the office, because look at me. I'm not built like that, bro. Like, come on, just sitting looking at look at that programming and code. Come on, bro, that's not me. Then I was like, well, okay, let me switch it. And I switched it to civil engineering.
Okay.
I switched to civil engineering. Then I was like, well, this is cool, but it's just not what I thought. Mm-hmm. Because you do deal with a little bit of drawing, but it's more of structural type stuff.
Right.
You know, you do look at bridges and stuff and here and there, but it's not really. So I said my final straw was architecture. And architecture is the best of all worlds, my guy. Mm-hmm. So when you were an architect, I'm talking about you do, even when you do look at a landscape, primarily they do landscape, they may do other stuff, or even interior design. Their forte is interior. But when you look at an architect, right, they do everything. Okay. We draw the whole nine. Bridges, buildings, homes, ponds, trees, the landscape. I mean, literally animation. I mean, I was the king at using Form Z for animation, bro. Like walkthroughs of houses and stuff. Like literally, like it took days for my stuff to render. And again, that was me being the guy that took everything to the next level. Yeah. Like I didn't have to do that. Nobody else did it in my class. I taught myself how to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things to where, yeah, man, like when I chose architecture, it was because it gave me the ability to express myself differently. Okay. And the crazy part about architecture, man, that is so good, but it's bad for certain people. Like I had a guy that graduated valedictorian with me. Now, you know, for a guy like that, when you do so well, right, you are accustomed to doing well. Yes. Now with architecture, it is subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. Mm-hmm. You could be my professor and you could like doors and you could hate my door design and give me an F. For real. Really? it was like landscape. Like it was like normally when we would have like a critique on our work, like people cried at architecture, bro. Like this is the first time I start seeing, or the second time I start seeing people cry.
Yeah.
So first was in the military, and I get on that another sidebar topic, but this was another time when I saw grown people cry, bro. Like we would normally have like 3-4 professors in our like critique for our project.
Yeah.
And it would always be 4 different professors that had their own thing. It would be a professor that was real like big on passive building, like being like eco-friendly and stuff like that, like the less killers type stuff that you use in the build your building with. Then there would be like the one that was real big on structural.
Okay.
Then there would be one that was real big on like aesthetics, like colors and stuff like that, like real big on the color and stuff like that. Then it would be the one that was real big on just making it look elegant and pretty and just look good on paper and really made it flow.
Yeah.
So each one of these people graded you differently though.
Wow.
Now you could be the guy that just did all those 4 things perfect. Or you could be the guy that come in and be like the straight A guy. You know, graduated top of his high school class, smart guy, intelligent. But architecture, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
So you're not doing too well. So he had to switch.
Oh.
Yes. Because again, when you get these professors in front of you, my guy, like this isn't like doing a math problem, 2 + 2 is 4. You're done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, this is like making a door and saying why you put that door there. Like, why did you choose that color? Why did you use that material? Why did you choose that angle? Why did you put it on this side of the building? Why did you put it in the center? Why did you put your roof here for a certain amount of overhang because of the sun? What about the wind? What about the sound from the street? What about this color roof plan? What is this floor? Bro, even when we design a building, even when you take away all the actual structure of the color, even the lines that you see on the paper, that had an actual meaning behind it.
Wow.
Like, no lie. Like your lines on your windows, and like, this is how deep it gets, like for real. Like when you look just at a building, next time you go in a good quality building, if you follow one window, look at the top line, all windows will more than likely meet across. If you find a door, whether there's a window or another door or another beam or another something, they're all gonna line up.
Okay.
So when you start drawing lines on paper, all this stuff, no lie. Like it's an art. It's like deep like that, bro. Like it's levels to this, man. Like it ain't just a building. Like people see spaces.
Right.
When we build, man, it's a higher meaning, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Like, and so when I got to college, you know, that's what I wanted to do, right? Architecture and all this great stuff. But there came a time in my life, right? Again, where I chose again that this isn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be the smart guy. I don't want to be the smart guy because people want me to be the smart guy. So I started doing crazy stuff, man. I started roaming the streets. I started hitting the corners, you know what I mean? I started hanging out with bad people. I started doing bad things.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to I've already had control though.
Right.
I learned my control early. You feel me?
Where was that pressure coming from that you need to do these things that you wanted to kind of back off and you wanted to
just
see
from
what
people,
else?
just like naturally, like people when you do so, it's just like anything in common. Like me playing football. Do you not know how many people, bro? Like when I stopped playing ball because I was injured, do you know how many people like walked up? Like no lie, bro. Like it used to anger me. Like everybody that knew me or knew of me, right? Hey man, you still playing football, man? You gonna play football? And I'm looking like, bro, no, bro, like that's done. Like I know you had high expectations for me, but that's not me no more. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, so when I say people, these are just people that just, I'm not gonna say wanted to see me do good, but expected me because of my patterns of just who I was.
Yeah,
and my work, really, my work ethic. Let me just simplify. Because of my work ethic. So people just expected me to do great things because of my work ethic, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say that I no longer wanted to be that person, like I no longer wanted people to expect me to do great things because of my work ethic.
Right.
So at that point, that's when I was like, you know what? Because again, I'm gonna be honest with this too, because my brothers was doing other bad things, right? Things that were not good. And even me, guess what I did? I'm gonna go be like them.
Mm-hmm.
That was me, again, choosing though.
Yeah.
Let me go do these things. I chose that though. Like, and that's why a lot of people respect me to this day too, because they saw me do great, right? They saw me choose another path that wasn't good. And one day I just woke up and was like, you know what? Nah, no, this bad path.
Yeah.
This is not it. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This new path that I chose, this is not it. So at that moment, yeah, I just switched back. It's like I'm possessed with the ability to flip that light on and off. You know what I mean? Flip the switch. Like when people say that, it's like a cliche statement, but that's a real thing. Like that's real.
Yeah.
Like I possess the ability to flip the switch. So when I flip my switch on, if you're about to face me, or if you like for real, once I flip my switch on, it's over, it's done. Like it's no holds barred. Like it's a wrap.
Yep. For sure.
You feel me? So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, so was the military before college? Was it after college, after you decided to kind of back off? Where did that come in?
I'm glad you asked that, man. Like, this is another time when God tested me as well. Because when I was in high school, man, I hated the military.
Okay.
I hated JROTC. I said I would never go to the military. No lie.
So
I said I'd never do anything Army related.
Were you in JORTC then?
No, but I mean, it was just something that I didn't have a liking for.
Right.
It was just something about it that I knew that, because I know the military, they, have rules and regulations. At that age, I couldn't be controlled. Look, I told you, I've never been controlled. I did everything on my own.
I don't see that going well for you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I was never a person. I'm a driven person, and I make decisions on my own, and I live by my own actions. You see what I mean? I don't blame nobody for nothing. So basically, when I was in high school, I said I'd never do military, none of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. So in my college career, when I was in my English teacher class now, something happened. There was a family disagreement. You know what I mean? Between me and my people. Yep. So at that time, my people, right? Again, it goes back to people that are supposed to be here to help you, right? Your people, like, these are your people, right? Like, these are your people that are supposed to be like my kids, right? Like, I got 4 kids, 17, 13, 12, and a 3-year-old daughter. Like I told you, if I died right now, they're prepared to take on the world, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yeah. And I do everything in my power to make sure that they will be great. Now, again, me being in college, baby, there was a family disagreement, and my people would not sign my promissory note for me to get financial aid. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. So they would not sign it, like literally. So I was in my teacher's class, my English teacher, and I'm gonna say her name, Allison Stamps, baby, at Mississippi State, baby. She one of the best people that ever crossed my path, man, influenced me, saw the greatness in me, man, really fed me their energy. Like I told you, man, she told me how great I was. Because when I actually she even ended up writing me a recommendation letter for like jobs and stuff many times, man. She wrote me a whole 3-page paper, even to the dean, talking about some more stuff. But that's how great she looked at me and valued me and saw me as this great person. She saw it. You know what I mean? So when I left, I had to withdraw from school, and that hurt her heart, because she, like I said, she gave me an assignment. I turned it in the next day. So her knowing that I got to withdraw from school, bro, to short my education for these negative things that's going on, hurt her. Yeah. And it hurt me. So that's why that's how I ended up in the military. So again, it was one of those things where, again, like when you grow up and you say never, right?
Mhm.
That was that time where God dangled that rabbit in my face again. It was like, yes, son, like you said never, right?
He
But
heard you.
now I done put you in a situation where you said never, but in order for you to prevail, you got to make a grown man decision. You got to make a grown man decision. So that's when I enlisted in the military. I enlisted in the military to get basically GI Bill and money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. What branch?
Army.
Okay.
So I could come back to college and pay my debt. Because again, my people wouldn't sign the promissory note. And I had already taken the classes.
Right.
So I couldn't start because again, I didn't pay that semester. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to the military to literally, and that's when life hit me again. The people that was supposed to be here to help me grow hurt me.
Yep.
So I had to make a grown man decision to save my own life, right? Yet, me saving my life, I had to put my life in jeopardy. Do you feel me? Do you follow that though?
Yeah.
That's double jeopardy, baby. So in order to help myself prevail, right, I had to go to the military, which was designed to help me. However, being in the military, your first role is to fight in the war.
Yeah.
So I'm putting my life at danger in order to acquire something to help me prevail and to move forward in this part of my life. You see? So at that moment, that was another moment in my life, bro, that really hit me hard. That, hey, that no matter who these people are, right? No matter who they are, bro. Friend, family member, anybody. Guess what? They'll turn their back on you, man.
Yeah.
And that's why me, to this day, I do everything pretty much alone, man. I don't really have, I got people that I've acquired, like my Lion family, right? Through my business of helping people, right? Being connected to people. But as far as in like people being close to me, nah, man, because when it gets hard, man, when it gets tough, man, people turn their back on you, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I had to put my life in danger to really save my life, that taught me a lot. That showed me what I had to truly embody myself with.
Right.
To really maneuver.
Yeah. Quick question. Was boot camp easy for you?
It was so crazy, bro, because here's another thing now. And we gotta, like, I don't know if you know this, but at that part of my life, I had gained a little weight.
Okay.
So, because I told you I wasn't playing sports no more. So I wasn't even as fit. Now, this is how, lock me down. Throw away the key. What?
Yep.
We still gonna surpass everybody. So when I got in the military, I was overweight.
Okay.
I was in D group, E group, the worst group in basic training. Like I was in D group, baby, E group. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was in a barely making it group. So even then I was in a barely making it group, but you already know who I am though. I'm a beast. I'm a machine. I'm a lion. And then genetically, right? Like genetically, my body automatically progresses fast.
Yep.
Genetically. So I don't have to put as much work in as a normal person and I get gains.
Yeah.
So basic training is only like a few weeks. So within those few weeks, like, people gonna lose weight and transform. So put it like this. I went from the worst, bro, like again, but this is just who I am though, man. This is just what I do. I went from the worst there, bro. One of the worst, right?
Yeah.
I graduated top of my military class, baby. Commandant's list, baby. The most fit with the highest GPA, baby.
I'm impressed.
You feel me? Like I graduated. I was a sharpshooter, man. I was an expert grenades man. But it wasn't even the physical part, man. It's all mental, man. Okay. The military, like even then, you already see that I was already built with that mentality.
Yep.
The military just heightened it, bro. Like imagine running, man, every day for 2 to 3 months singing. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger.
It's pretty good.
Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Whatever doesn't kill you only make you stronger. Born into poverty, huh? People laughing at you, huh? No shoes to wear to school. What? Turf toe, huh? Choosing to get out of school. What? I mean, literally the list goes on and on and on. On the corner. I mean, doing these drugs, doing all this crazy stuff, bro. People laughing, nobody coming to help you. But again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Even now, 3,400 miles. What doesn't kill me make me stronger? 2 hours in the sauna, 4 hours in the sauna, a 50-mile race with COVID-19 and still place third. What doesn't kill me only make me stronger. I fasted 7 days and ran 30 miles on the 7th day. I ran 30 miles in 4 ways of rain in 37-degree weather, man. I mean, I just fasted 8 days for my birthday, no food. My goal next year is 14 days, man. My ultimate goal is 30 days. But I just said all that to say, man, like, it's just in me, man. Like, I don't know how to give nothing less than 100. I don't know how to give nothing less than 150, well, nothing less than 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't speak that language. Like, and that's, and you know, just to make a point, nobody will ever be able to see the world from my viewpoint.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, and that's why we as people, right, as humans, that's why it's so difficult for us to come together and unify.
For sure.
And is that bad? I mean, can we blame people? Because it's not my fault that my 100,000% is completely different than this person's 100%. This guy would never see life like me, bro. Like, for real, like, bro, like 3,400 miles, you would never see the world like me. You would never see triumphs like me. You would never see failure like me. Like, they would, you know what, like, for real, like,
yeah.
You would never, like, see the world like I see it. Like, not even count my poverty and stuff, just me being able to run 50 miles with COVID-19 and place third. Like, bro, like, how many people out there that told my kids, your dad is a beast? I showed up with no like, on stop, on, like, fuel, because I'm a monster. Bro, they had to make me get a bottle of water. Like, the organizer of the race made me get a bottle of water. Because I don't even train with water, bro. Like, when I run, I don't even run with nothing. Like, literally, like, but I mean, the whole point that I'm making is, man, like, I'm just like, nobody, it's like, but the whole point I was making is, like, the viewpoint that I see the world in, man, like, just who I am and what I see. And but people don't understand, like, and the only way I can view the world that way, though, is because I possess the ability to persevere.
Mm-hmm.
Because persevering is the ability to keep going when you don't know what's next. Pushing through the unknown.
Right.
I push because, again, but it goes back to, it's so many things that's taking place right now. Because I push so much, right, to where eventually it happens.
Yeah.
But even if it don't happen, guess what? Even if it don't happen, guess what? I'm still going.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, most people, if it don't happen, guess what? They stop.
Yep.
They don't make it. That's why they don't make it, because they stop.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, again, man, there's so many levels to this, man. Like, had I stopped years ago, I wouldn't be right here in front of you right now. So that's why I really appreciate this, man. Like, this isn't even for me. This is for my mom, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I made this promise to my mom. Like, it's bigger than me. It's like that thing, your why has to be bigger than your how. I knew why I was doing it. I didn't know how I would be in front of you today.
Right.
But I knew why I was doing what I was doing. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't know how I get in front of you, but I knew my why, so therefore I would never give up.
Mm-hmm.
So the next person I sit in front of, guess what? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but my why is my mom.
Yeah.
So I'm not stopping. Period. That's the mindset that you gotta have to be great. Any great person never gave up, my guy. Regardless. How hard it may get, how difficult it may seem, how much pain you gotta endure, we never give up, baby. We never stop, man. We keep going.
Absolutely.
We keep going, baby.
So as far as we're in the military, were you sent overseas? What was your service
I mean,
like?
my thing is, bro, like, as crazy as it sounds, man, I never had a desire to go overseas. And one reason is I'm afraid of needles.
Yeah.
So the more you go overseas, you got to take even more shots.
Yeah. You got to make sure that if you're in that environment,
for me, it was something that I did not submit to do because of those reasons.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm not going to put myself in extra pain just to say I did something. Yeah. Again, I'm controlling who I become. Like, I'm controlling my life, right? I'm not going overseas because you want me to go.
Yeah.
You feel me? If I end up overseas because I want to be there.
Right.
So I didn't go overseas because, first off, I got a needle phobia.
Yeah.
Second off, I got a needle phobia. Third off, I got a needle phobia. But I mean, no, I didn't go overseas. But yeah, man. So I didn't go overseas because that just was something that I just didn't. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, that wasn't my. That wasn't my. That wasn't my forte.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't my stuff.
Yep. So how did they take that? That must be interesting for the military to be like. Were they just like, yep, this is just what it is, or they sent you back to
most
school?
Of the time, how the military is set up, right? You choose what you want to kind of do.
Okay.
You kind of choose to go on different missions per se. Sometimes, you choose, and depending on what I was personnel. Again, I didn't go in for the long term.
Right.
You mean for years to make a career? That's what I mean. I didn't go in to make it a career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't now, and depending on what your career you chose, the odds of you going somewhere would be, you know what I mean? So they explain all this to you.
Got it.
So my thing was just personnel. Like, I knew that what I was doing was just like, we putting in paperwork. You feel me? We do that at the crib or wherever, you know what I'm saying? On the home base or the home front.
Yeah.
So you would never hardly be at the front, you know what I'm saying? So literally that's how I chose my path. Like, now everybody else got different reasons now, had I been long-term, I'm a gorilla. I'm a beast. I'm a lion.
You would have been
I would have did something like a Navy SEAL or something, real far out. But just like my guy that people compare me to all the time, David Goggins. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, at that time of my life, like, and I'm appalled. Like, everybody that I meet anywhere, just when they hear me talk, when they see me work, they always say, "Hey man, you remind me of David Goggins." And hats off to him. Like, I didn't have that. I mean, I had the mindset, but that wasn't my route at that back then.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, he knew what he wanted to become, and he became it. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Like, he turned it on. He flipped that switch. He flipped the switch. Like I said, I was fat. I flipped the switch. I graduated top of my class, most intelligent, most fit. But I mean, yes, I wasn't doing it like he was, like Navy SEAL. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he had that lined up in his sight. What I had lined up in my sight at the time was just being my best at that level.
Yeah, different goals.
Exactly. Yeah. Different goals, but still to be great, but different though.
Yeah, I don't want you two.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want you two in the same room though. I don't know what you guys would come up with. So so was it 4 years? Is that what the gig was, or how long? Okay.
It was 6 years.
So
I was basically I did a few months year active, and then I was reserve. Okay. Doing it in college and stuff like that.
Oh, so you guys do both at the same time then?
Yeah, because like what happens is like you basically go to drill. Well, it depends on when they call, pretty much. Yeah. You go to drill during the weekend, and then sometimes, but whatever you're in the reserve, like your job automatically lets you go. Yeah. Whether you go on 2-3 months, you don't lose your job.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
For
Yes.
being off with the military. You feel me?
Yeah. Kind of hard to get in trouble
it's just
for
like
that.
one of the things where you just made it work.
For sure. So what was, did you go back to architecture? You finished that out, or what did we finish up with at school?
So basically, when I got back to school, I picked back up with my teacher.
Great.
And I started architecture school. And I was a 4-year architecture student. And then my 4th year, life happened. So that was the time. Now my son, I'm not saying that, so I had my first child.
Yep.
So I'm not using my son as an excuse, but I had my first child.
Yep.
And I was choosing to do other things. And yeah, I had to get a job and provide and do these things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and at that time, because I was doing these other things, my schooling wasn't going the best at the time.
Right.
Obviously, because I got a child now.
You
I got
only have
other
so many hours.
Yeah. Exactly. So, so basically that happened. So at that time, this was in like 2004. So my son was born in 2002. So 2004 was the time that really college was done.
Yeah.
I had decided to really start my kind of life working a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working a job. I had flashes on going back to architecture school when, time permitted itself. That was when my professor, Miss Stamp, wrote me like this recommendation letter. Amazing. You know what again, because she knew how driven I was. Like, hey, look. And it was like the most amazing. When I say amazing, bro, but again, it's only because I got that work ethic. So, yeah, so around 2014, man, I made it. I was in my 4th year of architecture, and I basically had to withdraw out of school. So I started working a job, and then
what was the job?
There, say it again.
What was the job?
I was working on a call center.
Okay.
It was on like a call center where it was in Starkville, Mississippi, where I was working for Dell, but it was like a kind of a affiliate of, wasn't Dell directly, but basically, you know how call centers are, they partner with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing tech support work, but again, I'm a gorilla, right? So I'm a lion, and for real. So again, that's just who I am. I'm driven. So at the call center, I worked there probably like a year and a half, and when I was there, I was like the best, one of the best, right? Best call time. Most, I was loud. I'm loud. You hear me now? I'm loud. I'm just that loud person that you'll never forget. So I was loud. I was, happy. Just this person that just did well. I became like a coach because again, I did well. My number was good.
I see you doing well there.
Again, that's just what I do. You know what I mean? So me being there, but a lot of people, it goes back to most people don't know how to use their current situations to become like a spring system to spring them forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at that time I was working there and I was doing so well. And I ended up moving to Arkansas in 2005. I left everything.
Yeah.
Like literally, I left with my Volkswagen Jetta, baby.
Good mileage.
Literally, everything I own, bro, was in my Volkswagen Jetta, bro. I left with nothing. So when I left, I didn't even have a job because I had a girl at the time, right? Yeah. You know how it is. You move with your girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
That didn't pan out too well.
Yeah.
But when I moved, I was, doing all these different interviews, doing this, and then I got this job. I was already, so when I left Mississippi, bro, it's like everything, doors open. I was already this intelligent guy, new to the area, just high driven. Like people, I'm gonna be honest, you don't find too many people like me. Like, I'm gonna be real, man. When people interact with me, like just people on a normal basis, better yet, people at a job, right? When they find a guy like me, real high energy, naturally, just, intelligent, outgoing, self-driven, motivated, you know what I mean? Like really, for real. Like everything that a premier employer is looking for. Like, so when I went, man, I was like landing jobs left and right, no lie. Like everybody like, wow, like they hired me, like people interviewing me, got 2 and 3 people. They were so amazed, bro. So it was this telecommunication company I started working for. I worked for them from 2005 to 2008. Awesome. Now when I got the job, bro, they were done with interviews. They were done. But I'm gonna tell you, like this lady that interviewed me over the phone, she called the manager and said, "You gotta interview this guy." Like, no lie.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what I do, though. Like, that's why I say people will never view life like I view it, because what I bring to the table, bro, like, people don't really know what I experienced. Like, for real, like, people don't know what I've actually experienced. Like, it ain't even me being arrogant, right?
It's just what you got.
It's just me doing what I do. Like, me telling myself good job is the only way that I keep being good at what I do.
Yeah.
So when this lady called this lady and said, look, man, you gotta interview this guy. Like, no lie. She said, you gotta interview this guy. So the lady was done with interviews, bro, like, for real, done. No more interviews, like, done. She called me, bro, and was so crazy. She called me, man, and she interviewed me. And when she was done, that's when she told me, that after the interview was done, she was like, Antonio, I want you to know that I was done with interviews. I was done. Like, the person that I chose had already been chosen.
Mm-hmm.
But the interviewer, the recruiter, called me and said, you got to interview this guy. You must. You got to interview him. You cannot move on without interviewing this guy.
Yeah.
And so when she told me that, I asked her, I said, so was I everything that this person had said about me or described me to you? And she was like, that and more. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that really gave me an edge beyond everything was, like, once I interviewed with the recruiter, I did a thank you letter.
Wow.
Most people don't do that.
Nope.
And my thank you letter was so, like, no lie. I'm a real, obviously, man, I told you.
Yeah, you can write.
I majored in English. I mean, I wasn't an English major, but I wrote papers better than people that majored in English.
Yeah.
So the thank you note was like, no lie, bro, like, next level, man, like, for real. Like an autobiography of the greats. Like, dead serious. So that thank you letter, man, was really what really, like, and just me being who I was, that was really just, like, put me in, like, this solar system by myself, like, for real.
Yeah.
And what was so crazy, man, like, when the lady hired me, like, now when she hired me, like, she hired me for a store. I wasn't even living in that city. It was a whole hour away.
Yeah.
But I drove an hour, bro. Like, it wasn't like being stuck in traffic for an hour like in Houston. Like, you could be like 10 miles away, and it could take you an hour just because traffic backed up. Yeah. No, this is like a straight 60-mile drive. So, again, what am I, though? I'm a gorilla. I'm a machine. I'm a beast, baby. I just get it done. I'm a lion. So I told the lady, look, I got you. So for a year and a half, bro, I had to, and look, this is how my life was, how precise I was, bro. And again, man, like, people, like, don't really know, man. They'll never see life how I see it. So imagine me having to be at work at 8 o'clock, bro. So now, again, let me explain this to you. So I got to be at work at 8. So therefore, I had to leave home at least by 6:45. Yeah. And at least an hour, 15 minutes just to make it, just in case something didn't happen. Right. So if I had to leave at 6:45, a whole hour, that means I had to wake up a whole hour and something before. Mm-hmm. So I had to wake up. So I had to wake up a whole hour and something before. So I had to wake up at least 2 to 3 hours before work just to get to work on time for a whole year and a half. Wow. Every night, bro, when I got off work, I had to drive another hour to get back home. So if I got off work at 9 or 8 or 9, I didn't make it home to 10 or 10:30. Man. And I had to wake up again 2 to 3 hours again the next day early just to make it to work again. Yeah. So again, bro, that moment in itself built me up, bro. Mm-hmm. Again, man, like, I can't be broken, bro. Like, but I'm gonna rewind back, and this is gonna be a quick rewind. But when I was in college in architecture school, I stayed awake 3 days, multiple times with no sleep, working on projects. That's how crazy architecture students are, bro. Like, that's how laser sharp we are, my dude. Yeah, I've done two, and it doesn't go well. I'm and look, I stayed up. I cut my finger off working on an architecture project, but because I had been up for 3 days with no sleep. Yeah. And they had to put it back together with a screw. You're not kidding. I'm not kidding. This one right here. Wow. Yeah.
That's not ideal.
Exactly. But the whole point that I was making is, man, like me driving that, getting up 3 hours before, bro, I already have been staying up 3 days. You feel me? No no-dos, no juice packs, no energy pills.
Just you.
Just me, baby. Just my will to be something greater, man.
Yeah.
Just my desire to be something that everybody say I couldn't become. Literally. Like, I already was up 3 days, multiple times, bro.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm the only one in the architecture to be able to stand up 3 days straight, baby. I'm a lion, though. I'm a beast, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what? Waking up 3 hours before, that ain't that, man. You what? You want me to wake up 3 hours before, but I just stayed up 3 days? Come on, bro. You got to do something better than that. But you see me. You see why. But you see why that things can't really affect me, man.
Right.
Because of the stuff I intentionally put myself through. Like I told you earlier, I created my storms, my guy.
I like that.
Every storm I created in my life was intentional. Here. This is what ruins people.
Mm-hmm.
This is the gatekeeper, man. This is the catalyst. This is what controls the decisions we make. Everything here.
Yeah.
Everything that we do, good or bad, right here, my guy. If you can break this at an early age and show it who's in charge, nothing or no one will ever break you, baby.
Yeah. For sure. So 2008, we still doing the same job. What's our next move from there?
So 2008, man, that's when I got married, man. I met my wife like a year and a half before that. Before that. Bro, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this story, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you a piece of the story today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell the whole story, but I'm gonna tell a piece of the story.
All right.
So I'm in Walmart. I'm picking up money.
Okay.
Now I ain't saying who I got the money from. Could be another lady. You know what I'm saying? Could not be. But I'm in Walmart picking up money. My wife happened to be a manager.
Yep.
So she was the one that had to come and release the money.
Yeah.
So pretty much when she comes to release the money, she made a joke like, hey, let me get some of that money. Or something she said like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I was like, ha, 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 you know, like, I just laughed it off. So I turned around, like, no lie. So I turns around. I start walking out of Walmart, my guy. As I got to the door, I was like, man, she fine. She bad, bro. Like, no lie, I say, man, she looks so good, too. I say, let me go back and get this number, man. So I turns around, man. She's still at the customer service desk, my guy. I goes back up, you know, I just straight asked. I was like, hey, I'm about to go on a trip right now. I'm actually heading out. That's why I'm actually getting this money. So can I get your number so I can hit you up? And she was like, sure. So I got her number, bro. And like I left that night, I called her. I don't even think she answered the phone. But I left. When I got to my destination, I called her. We probably talked like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I was going on my little vacation for like a few days. So on my way back, I called her. No lie, I called her on the way back. It was probably like 7-8 hour trip, bro. And no lie, we talked the whole time. So soon as I make it back, like, hey, soon as I make it back, bro,
yeah,
we meet up, man, and like, hey, the rest was history. Mm-hmm. Like literally, as soon as I make it back, man, like, yeah, man, at that moment,
you knew.
And I'm gonna be real with you, I've met a lot of women in my life, bro. But the thing that my wife did, that no other woman that I ever crossed in my life ever did, bro, she told me that she was gonna be my wife. And she didn't say it in a weird way, like, you know, kind of like a creepy, clingy type of way.
Yeah.
She said it in a way as though, like, yeah, like, yes, like.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And look, 14 years later, my guy, you know, for real.
She was right.
She was right. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, like she looked at me and she told me, and I was just like, yeah, man, it happened. And ever since then, man, she was the one.
Mm-hmm.
So 2008, I met my wife, bro. And yeah, so at that time I was looking to move off. So I started looking for other jobs and stuff. We just wanted to move. And then there was no positions available with where I was at, the company I was at the time. So I just started applying. Started applying, bro. Started applying. And I applied and I had so many different offers, bro. Like, no lie.
I'm
driving a look. Me and my wife traveling in the United States for positions, like for jobs. That's just how, bro, you don't understand. I put in like 100 applications a night. That's just how, come on, bro. Who am I? I'm a lion. I'm a machine. I'm a beast, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like every night, bro, I'm putting in applications. Bro, I got interviews in Mississippi, different parts of Arkansas, bro, up north, and Memphis and Tennessee, bro, and Texas. I got interviews everywhere, bro. So what happened was I had an offer in Arkansas, in Fayetteville, at a company.
Okay.
So the exact same company, but then I had another offer with an insurance company. Again, like all these people just and you know, for me, man, like I'm laser sharp, bro. Like look at me, I'm telling you my whole life, like just high energy, like lit, like ready, man. You know what I'm saying? So this, when I'm talking to a person, this is the same energy I'm giving you. Like I can't make this up. So imagine me sitting in front of you at a job interview right now, talking to you like this, man.
I'd be worried you're taking my job.
And that happened. You see what I'm saying? But so what happened was I had all these different interviews, bro, and I asked the wifey, like, so me and my wife was coming back from the place where I had already almost accepted a job.
Right.
So on my way back, a job that I had a phone interview with, right, which is my company I'm with now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been with them just as long as I've been married with my wife, 14 years.
Yep.
So they called me and was like, again, but it was like months later though. So I already did an interview like 4 months ago. Over the phone though.
Yeah.
Over the phone. But again, bro, guess what? The same thing happened again. This person, you got to interview this guy. Bro, for real, it happened again.
Yeah.
You got to interview this dude. Like, you must interview this guy. And it was another lady, bro, interviewed me again, gave me the job. Now, at that time, I asked my wife, where does she want to move? And she chose Houston, Texas. And that's how we ended up here. Good move. Exactly. 2008, bro, until now, this is where I've been.
So what drove you to that company? Was it the job, what the job is? Was it the company culture? Or what kind of brought you?
I mean, it was a little bit of because they're the best at what they do. They're the best.
Yeah.
Because I already had experience with this company, so at that time, me being who I am, it was the same type of work.
Okay, so telecommunications.
Exactly.
Okay. So
same type of work, but the leader though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm already the best, but let's rewind back when I was with this other company. Mm-hmm. So, and I just wanted to touch on this. So after I got hired with the previous company, right? I didn't even have training for the first month. But guess what? When I first came in, but who am I though? I'm a lion. I'm a beast, baby. I'm a gorilla. So when I first came in, this guy looked at me and you know what he said? Bro, I don't think you're going to be able to hit the numbers, bro. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. Just another rep there. Just another rep. Like, bro, like they only had one rep in the store. So they hired me and this other guy to come in. They didn't even train us. They needed help so bad. They just put us there. Like I never had sold a phone to anybody, bro. Mm. Didn't even know how to use the system. But again, who am I? I adapt fast though. Because my mind is just that complex. And you see what I'm saying? I execute, I'm just that analytical when I process information. So, bro, check this out. No training. Somebody doubted me. The first month with the company. Best of the best. Out of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Sit down with the CEO and the owner at the end of the year. For my first month transaction, baby. What? Let me repeat. For my first month, baby, they doubted me. No training. The best of the best rep out of 2 states. And that was acquired for that first month. You hired me because somebody said you gotta hire this guy. One of the guys there said he doubted me. He didn't think I would hit the numbers there. Yeah, they didn't train me, but I was the best of the best that month, baby. Out of everybody that already had been there for years, baby. So again, how can I say this, man?
It doesn't even matter what it is.
Say it again.
Doesn't even matter what it is.
Say it again, though.
Doesn't matter what it is.
You see what I'm saying, man? Like, do you see the mindset, bro?
Yeah.
Do you see why I have this mindset that I have, bro? Like, literally, man, nothing or no one can limit me, baby. Absolutely. You can put something in front of me, but I'm going to climb over it, under it. I'm going to go through it to the side or to this other side, baby. Or I'm going to create a whole new door. Period. The first month, man, best of the best, baby. Best of the best, man. No training. They doubted me. And they was done with interviews.
What was it like sitting down with the CEO and those guys?
Bro, I was on a whole nother level, bro. I didn't even know. That was my first time being introduced to calamari, man. I hadn't even ever known people ate octopus, baby.
Is there funny looking onion rings?
Bro, exactly. Exactly. So, bro, this was the first for me. Look where I came from. I just told you where I came from, baby. Yeah. Poverty, man. They laughed at me growing up. They said I'd never be nothing. They counted me out, baby. I was carrying buckets of water from my sink, man. I was chopping wood for wildfire. But here I am sitting with the CEO, baby, eating calamari. What? They passed me the sporks in the, I don't know what, man, the salad fork, the soup spoon. Well, I don't know. Man, just give me a spoon, man. You feel me? Like, but man, that's the side of me, man, that's genetically in me, though. Mm. You feel me? Like that drive and that intellect, that's in me. But you got to be able to separate where you come from, though. And that's what a lot of people can't do. Like, yes, I'm in poverty. Yes, I'm in the hood. Yes, I don't have this. But that don't define who I am. And that's what I bring to the table, man. That's why I am so different, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I am just something completely different when I sit in front of a person. When I sit in front of people, right? When I speak, it's passion, baby. They feel it. They feel me. No lie, like every day when I speak to a person, they feel me. Like you feel me right now. I know you feel me. Yeah. Because you can't, you know, like you can't pay a person to talk this way. No. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't pay a person. I'll light up a room, bro. Put me 20 people in there, they all gonna be like. But when people hear me speak, it's because of everything that I've gone through, bro. Yeah. And it's not just because I've gone through it. It's because I overcame it. And check this out. It's not just because I overcame it. It's because I kept going, even when I didn't overcome it. And eventually I did, but guess what? I still got to overcome more stuff. Mm-hmm. The cliche statement, you climb one mountain, guess what? You got to climb another one. It never stops, my guy. Mm-hmm. It never stops.
So you start finding your home in 2013-ish at the same job in Texas. What's kind of going from there since kind of stable, managing and whatnot? What's life looking like for you there?
I mean, really, man, like, I'm be real, man. Like, at that point in my life, bro, That's when 2013, that's the magic number. Like, dang. Well, really, man, like 2000, okay. So 2009 is right. So 2009 hit and I just flipped that switch. I flipped the switch. Like, really, I'm going to college again. I flipped the switch and I said, I'm going to college. So I enrolled at Grand Canyon University. Online school. My company paid for everything. Like, so when I enlisted, baby, my goal was to be the best. Because again, like, no lie, I'm the student, bro. Like, imagine me emailing you. You my professor. Look, my name is Antionio Gillespie. I'm getting an A in your class because I am going to put in the work load, period. This is who I am. Like, literally, that's my email to you. Hey, before class starts, I need you to know, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to get 100 in your class. I'm going to get an A+ because I'm going to be here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all this stuff, literally, every class. And guess what? The teacher replied back, man, like, come on, amazing. Like, you are a rare young man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I graduated in 2012 with a 3.92 GPA, baby. Summa cum laude. Did it again, baby. Did it again, baby. Did it again, baby. Graduated top of my military class, baby. Enrolled back in college, baby. The lightning struck twice, baby. While I'm working now,
yeah,
I'm at home writing papers all through the night. I'm writing paper. Look, but you remember now, I write a whole 14-page paper overnight with no rough draft.
Get it done.
So as I'm helping customers, I'm writing papers in my brain. Like no lie, bro. Like,
I don't doubt you.
Bro, I got papers written on my brain. So on my lunch break, guess what I'm doing? Finishing up. When I get home, again, it's in my brain. I don't need a rough draft, like literally. It's so crazy, man. Like, this is on top, but off topic. The key to writing papers is excellent thesis statement, right?
Okay.
Because once you make your thesis statement and bullet point what you're going to talk about, now it's just you're talking about what you're going to talk about.
Right.
And if your thesis statement is premier, guess what? The teacher going to love you. Like, for real.
Yeah, decided.
Like, I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you know, when you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like anything. Like, when you know what a person wants and you give it to them, this man right here, man, you, man, you are the reason why I teach. Like, for real, man, those are the things that really make people appreciate their job when people really do what's expected and then do more of it.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, man, I did all that, wrote my teachers, man, like, and then the same thing happened. When I need a recommendation letter, guess what? Why wouldn't they? Yep. I'm the guy that told you at the beginning of the class I'm getting an A. Most definitely, I'm writing you a recommendation letter. And, you know, again, bro, it's because I set that groundwork, though.
Right.
That's just who I was. And so 2010, so it took me about a year and a half or so. And so, yeah, man, but I was overweight. So during that time, bro, I was living a lavish life, though.
Okay.
I had turned into like a bad boy because I'm like doing great with sales, bro, making all this money, bro. Like going out, like drinking too much, bro, eating too good, like just living life, bro. And I gained over, I got up my weight up to 250 plus pounds.
At 5'8"?
5'6".
5'6".
5'5.5", 5'6". I'm cheating myself, but 5'6" if I want to push it. I'm 250 plus pounds, man. The wifey cooking good, boy. I'm eating out. I'm going out. Look, my managers, bro, like I'm that kingpin.
Yeah, making money.
Let me repeat. I'm that ace, baby. I walk in the building, bro. I'm like, hey, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Winner circle, bro, back to back to back to back. Going to Florida, going to Mississippi, going to different resorts, baby, like 4, 5, 6 time winner circle winner. Like, literally, I'm like your protege, you know what I'm saying? I'm in this mug like money just like throwing around. So I lost myself. So really, during that time, bro, 250 plus pounds, eating good, drinking good, just living good. So I'm near death. So once and the whole segue now is 2012 hit. My son looked at me. That's my 17-year-old. He was like, that was 2012, so that was 8 years ago, which he was 8, 9 at the time. He looked, me and him was driving to the store. You know what he looked at me and said at 9? Dad, I don't want to see you die. So, boom, bam. Oh my Lord, my 9-year-old, bro, tells his dad, I don't want to see you die. So I'm just like, bam, man, I'm out here living like a good life, but not good though. I'm got money, taking care of the family, doing well, got all these awards, but I'm dying though, literally. I'm dying for real. I'm literally dying, bro. Let me tell you what I was dying from. Pre-hypertension, acid reflux, extreme nosebleeds, weak heart, weak lungs. So all that was going on with me, bro. So I'm really doing all this stuff to really mask who I've become.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shades everywhere I go to hide myself. Even when I graduated, I got on the stage. Bro, I drove all the way to Arizona, 19 hours, bro, straight myself. And I was, look, this how premier I am because I'm a lion, baby. Bro, I drove 19 hours from Texas to Arizona, Phoenix, baby. And I was stopping writing papers along the way at Wi-Fi, baby, at McDonald's. Didn't even sleep. Ask my wife, baby. On my morning of my graduation, I was up writing papers before I walked, baby. Even after I walked, I had another paper I had to submit. That's how hungry I am, though, man. It goes back to what you say, it don't matter. It's nothing, bro.
Yep.
Nothing can stop me. I drove 19 hours, bro, straight. 19 hours straight, bro. Stopping at McDonald's, getting on Wi-Fi to submit paper and do work, bro. That's how different I am, man. And once I graduated, man, got my 3.92 GPA, man, got my thing, put it on the wall, bro. Graduated with honors, bro. Man, my mom was still alive then. That made her so proud, bro. Again, I'm still knocking down doors, letting her see, like, hey, what people tried to make you think you was, you're not that. Because look at me. I came from you. So if I'm great, that means you great. So yet another victory in the books. Because why? My why was bigger than my how. I knew why I was doing these things, baby. My mom, baby. It goes back to her, period. My whole life. My why, my mom. My why, my mom. My why, my mom. So I graduated, bro. Got my degree, 3.92 GPA. Sold it up, man. I'm this great being. I'm still out here in these streets, ripping and running, hanging out with my friends and stuff. My son told me he don't want to see me die. From there, I said, what next? Because I got the flips. I got the switch flip. It's on.
Yep.
Once I turn it on, baby, I told you, once I turn that switch on, baby, it's over with. Like literally. Once I flip that switch, man, I just either I'm on or I'm off. There's no in between, baby. Once I flip that switch, baby, it's done. So I flipped that next switch in my life, man. So I looked at my wife, bro, like 250 plus pounds. When my wife got with me, I was overweight, but not as overweight.
Right.
So she married a fat guy. So I looked at my wife in 2012. I said, babe, if I ever learn how to eat salads, I'll never be the same. Like I didn't eat veggies at all, bro. Like I didn't even know what calamari was. Bro, I ate like simple stuff. Pork chop, chicken, potatoes, little simple stuff. I was a meat and potatoes guy, period. I didn't eat no fruits, no veggies, bro. I didn't even know what broccoli was, asparagus, squash, zucchini. I didn't even know what none of that stuff was, bro. Like fruits, other than like a basic apple and an orange, bro, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Blackberries, blueberries and stuff. I didn't know what that stuff was, bro. So I told my wife that I said, babe, if I could ever learn how to eat a salad, I'm gonna become something different. So you know how people, and you know, I told you I was working out, but I was always eating terrible and stuff. I was always eating terrible. So I woke up, bro, January 2013. Flipped that switch. Got my membership, baby, at 24 Hour Fitness. I started working out, man. 4 months into it, I still wasn't always sold though, but I had lost like 5-10 pounds. But again, you give me an inch, baby, and I ain't living right. What's gonna happen when I really flip that switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time I leave the gym, guess where I'm stopping, baby? Popeyes. Give me a breast, baby. I'm working out. I'm eating a breast. Sometimes I get a breast or two. So I work out, give me a breast, bro. So again, I'm looking like, dang. So from January to like April, I lost a few pounds, but I'm still not all the way loaded.
Right.
I'm still not all the way locked in, bro. I'm still not really becoming something different. So I was like, you know what? I said, let me just go all the way in, man. And that's when my life changed. Like when I say that's when my life changed, bro, like when that happened, now I'm becoming who I am sitting in front of you now.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that moment, the guy that was created then in 2013, 2013. Now I had weight to be lost, right?
Right.
120 plus pounds. But at that moment, at that time frame, that's why I'm sitting in front of you right now. So in April, I looked. I said, you know what? I'm going to start eating salads. Now, I don't like lettuce and all this other stuff. So I was just eating. Bro, let me tell you how slow I was and how behind the mark that I was, bro, with eating, period. That was healthy food. I didn't even know anything about sauteed spinach, bro. Like, I was so rookie. I was so much of a rookie, bro. I ate spinach dry with tomatoes as juice because I didn't like the dressing, period. Yeah. I just didn't like the taste of dressing because I don't eat mayo, I don't eat mustard. So I was eating spinach raw with tomatoes raw.
Yep.
And eventually I would put some turkey on there or some grilled chicken. I eventually elevated to put different fruits and stuff. Okay. So I ate that type of stuff for a whole year and something. Now, from April 2013, bro. So around that time too, I looked at one of my managers, and that's when I started being introduced to Spartan races. Okay. Which is obstacle course racing. Yeah. So again, I was overweight. I was 250 plus pounds, but I was starting to flip the switch. So I saw one online, and I told one of my managers, and one of the stores I worked at, I'm gonna do that. And he's looking at me like, all right, man, your ass 250 plus pounds, bro. Shut that up, man. Just being real. Just being real, like, bro, like, you're not gonna do that. So again, April happened, bro. Like my diet, I started tracking everything. This, like, no lie, bro. Like when I say precise, man, like, bro, like from April till for at least 2 years, nothing entered my body that I didn't track. Let me repeat. Nothing entered my body that I didn't track, bro. Because again, what am I? How precise am I, right? You know how precise I am. Everything I've told you. Yep. You know how precise I am when I flip that switch.
I don't doubt it.
When I flipped that switch in April, bro, like every food that I ate, it was weighed down to the gram, bro. Like literally, this is how crazy I was. I would weigh my chicken with the bones. Then I would weigh the meat without the bones. Then I would weigh the bones after I had ate everything to make sure that my math was just right. Let me repeat. I would weigh the chicken with the bones without the bones. Then I would re-weigh it again. And I was doing this, bro, like everything that I ate. Rice, I weighed. Pasta, I weighed. Everything, bro. Whatever the serving size said, it didn't go in my body. Chips. If 15 chips is 150 calories, I ate 15. Yep.
What were your macros or calories? What were you trying to hit?
Bro, like, so it goes back to my genetics. So this is a whole nother topic. But Fitness and health, man, like this is coming from the guy again. You know me now. You know how precise I am. Fitness and health isn't as difficult as the fitness world makes it.
No.
Or how doctors make it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like for real. Like
money.
Exactly. That is facts. So man, I learned when I was tracking all this stuff, bro. Like, and you know, naturally speaking, just facts, bro. Carbs don't make you fat.
Nope.
What makes you fat is eating a surplus. Facts. The thing is, bro, that people don't understand, and I made several videos on my TikTok and everything. The thing is, bro, this is the kicker right here. This is the distinguisher, bro. You can eat 1,000 calories, or just say 2,000 calories. You can eat 2,000 calories of Popeyes.
Yep.
You can eat 2,000 calories of bananas, pasta, and Coke.
Yep.
You can eat or drink 2,000 calories of Bud Light. In the end, guess what?
It's a rough day.
All of those people will still lose weight at a certain amount of time.
Yep.
And even then, if some of those genetics are the same, guess what? Most people will lose weight at the same rate. However, where the difference comes in is two things. Your performance. You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The person that ate the Popeyes and the person that drank the Bud Light, yes, they would lose weight if they're in a calorie deficit. Yep. But the performance over time, they won't have enough energy efficient fuel to give them the energy to go the distance. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
And then you won't have the energy to put in the proper level of work that it takes when you go to the gym. So when somebody asks me, how do you work out for 12 hours? Obviously, I'm not eating Popeyes all day, right? For real. Obviously, I mean, theoretically, I probably could, but I wouldn't feel my best doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are the things that come into play. Now, for me, back to your original question, believe it or not, like for me, genetically speaking, my body holds on to muscle easy.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't have to eat as much protein as the normal person. Mm-hmm. I found this out because what? I told you how precise I am.
Yep.
So how my macros are set up, I was eating 50 to 60% carbs. Protein, 20 to 25%. And then fat. Actually, I would be eating more fatty food, or as far as the macronutrient, more fat than protein, or most of the time they would be kind of level off.
Yeah.
But I would eat more carbs than anything.
So how many calories a day were you hitting?
So for me, man, so here's another kicker. I'm gonna be real with you. When I first started out, obviously my goal was to lose over 100 pounds.
Yep.
Now, to be honest, bro, and again, this goes back to me out here putting in the work to know. I lived in a calorie deficit, bro. Like now, you know how much I was working out like 8-9 hours a day. Let me repeat, no lie. Bro, it was days, even on my 50-mile, even when I was training for my 50-mile race, I was burning. One day I actually burned 5,000 calories. You know, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories.
Yeah.
So I was burning almost 2 pounds of fat on runs. Not over week. Yes, let me repeat. A pound of fat is 3,500 calories.
Yeah.
So I was torching that on runs. Bro, it was days where I would burn 5,000 calories, 6,000 calories. Now, and I'm gonna be real, I would never even intake that much food back. Yeah. I stayed in a deficit. But bro, but again, the whole point that I was making earlier, during that time, the beast that I had became, bro, I was completely different. Even now, that's why I got so much respect and obviously who I am now, that you chose me to be in front of you.
Yeah.
Bro, my body fat, my abs, my ability to lift. Bro, I just ran 50 miles with COVID-19 and still placed third. Days after that, at 140 something, I benched 315 plus pounds. Who do you really know that possess that much endurance, but maintain that much strength at that light of a weight?
I know a guy at 175, he can deadlift 500. His bench is kind of similar, but no cardio.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Because it goes back to people got to understand, most people play to their like advantages.
Yeah.
If I'm a runner, I'm a run. Like when you go to the gym, that's what you see. People that lift, that's all they do. They don't really run. People that get on the bike, they get on the bike. They don't run or lift. People that run, they don't really lift. And that's why you see people that are skinny fat or so on and so forth, because they're just doing what they like. They don't never play to the things that will actually make them better. Doing the things that you're not comfortable with, guess what? That's how you become next level.
315? That's where you're benching? That's where you're benching?
At 140 something. Bro, like I got videos. Look, but yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, so when people say, wow, I'm 40. I just turned 40.
Ugh.
Bro, I would run circles around literally.
What's your pace? What are you running miles?
Bro, like I went now this is what makes it crazy right here, bro. You understand that I weigh 250 plus pounds.
Right.
So everything that I'm about to tell you happened after losing 100, because anybody lose weight. 99% of the people lose weight, bro, but they don't do what I'm about to tell you right now.
You eat at a deficit, you're gonna lose weight.
Bro, but no, I'm talking about the things that I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
So my fastest mile is 4 minutes and something. So I ran 13.1 miles in an hour and 29 minutes with no shirt on and 28-degree weather. Bro, like when I was training for my 50-mile race, every Sunday I would run. I started running shorter runs, but faster. During that time was when I ran the 13 miles in 28-degree weather. But I started running every Sunday, 30 miles, 35, 36, 40, 45. And then the last one was the 30 miles in the rain and 37-degree weather. Now here's the true kicker. What was I about to say about those miles, man? I don't know. Let me think of the point.
Is that the day that that's the year that you ran 3,400 miles?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, which was last year.
So did you start the year off saying you were going to run that far, or what? Where does that come from?
Bro, I didn't even, it's just me running miles and checking. Like, for real. Bro, like, look, oh yeah, the point that I was making was I would wake up like, this is who I am, like my wife and kids, right? I wake up at 5:36, go running. I wouldn't come back home on foot till 3, 4, 5. Or I would run to the gym, bro, like how my life is set up. On my path that I run around Houston, it's to the gym is like from my house all the way around through about 1 to 2 cities.
Okay.
So I run through cities. So I run around, that's like 20 miles to the gym. So I would run on foot, go to the gym, work out, sit in the sauna. Then I would turn around and go back the way I came and run back home another 20 miles. So that's just what I do. Like now I have goals, right? Like my goal was like to run now I do set goals sometimes. I ran 450 miles in 30 days. But my initial goal, now I ran 450 miles in 30 days. Now my goal wasn't to run 450 miles.
That's 15 miles a day.
Yes. Then I ran 440 miles. Now look, I ran 440 miles in 32 days. Now my goal at that time was only to run 12 miles a day. But obviously, once I started running, I broke my miles up. I run sometimes 8 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon. Or I run 20 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon. So on the final day, I ran 27.5 in the rain. So at that time, that was my longest run I had ever ran. When I ran the 440 miles in 32 days, 27.5 miles was the longest miles I had ever ran at one time. And until I really start training for my 50-mile run. That's when I start breaking into something completely different. Now, here's the thing, what most people don't understand either. And this is why, again, mindset, perspective. Most people, when they face a goal, right, or a dream, or something they want to get, guess what they're going to hope for? Nothing happens. No, this is going to be the perfect 30 days. Nothing's going to surface. But guess what, baby? No. God, send me storms, baby. God, send me storms. Put me in the furnace. Literally, that's me. I got the videos everywhere. I mean, that's how I do. So those 32 days, bro, every other day, I had an illness. I dealt with something that most people don't even deal with their whole life. Bro, I had heel spurs. I had hip issues. The sun had burned my eyes, so I had to start wearing a hat. Then bugs started flooding my eyes. I had to wear glasses. I got malnutrition because I was running so many miles. I was losing weight fast.
Yeah.
Basically, man, I was overheated, dehydrated. Because, like, for me, like, I did that in August. So that was, like, still, and look, when I ran my 3,400 miles, bro, I ran the most miles, the 450, in the hottest part of the year in Houston. So when it's 108 degrees.
You like the warmth.
Yes. The heat can't stop me. So that's the whole point that I'm making. Like, when I did that, I didn't wish for nothing to happen, because had I wished for something not to happen, guess what? I wouldn't have been prepared.
Yeah.
You feel me? I knew things was going to happen. I knew bad was going to show up. So when bad showed up, guess what? It was another day in the neighborhood, baby. Because what did I say? Nothing. Nothing, right? Poverty, baby. 3 days no sleep. People laughing at me. All this stuff that happened. My parents, the people, bro, didn't even sign my promissory note. In the military. Don't even supposed to be there. Shouldn't even be there. All this stuff that happened in my life, bro. So again, 30 days, 32 days, 440 miles, bro. All these different things show up. Guess what? I knock them down, baby. Knock them down. 27 miles, baby. 27 miles on the 32nd day. I was like, bro, like literally, man. Like, where do you get your energy from, man? People stay, and I don't even run with water, bro. Like, you see people running with water and stuff, bro. I don't even run with water packs. I don't even, like, for real. I don't even run with water packs, bro. Like how I train myself to be strong when I'm weak.
Yeah.
I'll run 20 whole miles, like, for real. I'll run 20 miles before I even get something to drink to build me up, baby. You can't beat me. Bro, I have no fuel. 30 miles, no fuel. You can't defeat me. You gotta have food to be your best. I don't need food to be my best, baby. You need water to be your best. Bro, I'm in my sauna right now, and you can see me sweating, but my sauna down low. But I'm just saying, bro, like, you need water to be your best. Bro, I train hours with no water. But again, that's how you become something different, bro.
So you're doing all of this cardio and running. How are you staying so strong?
Genetics. I'm playing to my advantage. Genetics. Again, for real. I'm being honest with you. Genetically, bro. Like, that is a genetic strength. Look, let me tell you this. So last year, right? Listen at this right here, bro. Last year, from January to September, you know what my goal was?
What?
I wanted to be lean, strong. I mean, so I could go far.
Yeah.
I already had, bro, even if I lift up, I do hundreds of reps, bro, thousands. It don't even matter. And look, and what they say, the more reps you do, you stay lean and toned. No. Genetically, bro, if I look at a weight, I'm going to get mad. I stay in a calorie deficit, bro. Look,
you sound like Bo Jackson.
Deficit, I still get big. Bro, from January to September, I stopped lifting weights, period. Look, January to September, I stopped lifting weights, period. 9 months, bro. My arms, like, at that time, no lie, my arms that got so small, but I wanted it. Again, I controlled it.
Yeah.
Bro, I can even lift 225 pounds. I can even lift it off the bar. But it was expected though. But check this out. September, right? Once I made it to my birthday and got my goal, right? Guess what I started doing? I started lifting again. And guess what? Who I am, baby. Genetically, I already know I adapt. My body, bro, like for real, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, I remember moves and stuff. I tried something one time, bro. Like, no lie, like dead serious. I tried something once, I failed. 2 times, 3 times, my body adapted. Now let me do it another 10,000 times. Like, come on, bro. Like, for real, like, that's how fast my body adapt, like, for real. But you got to be smart enough to know these things, though.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have that intellect. So for me, from September, bro, to like November, so 3 months, it's people that been bench pressing the whole year. Like, I couldn't even lift 225 for a whole 9 months, bro. My arm had got the size of a toothpick because obviously when you don't lose your muscle when you're running, that's how you mandate muscle to be used. That's what people don't understand either. When we don't use our muscles, we're telling our body it's expendable. When I run and lift, guess what? We're telling the body, hey, keep the muscle, now burn fat or burn the food as fuel. Don't use my muscle. You feel me? That's the gatekeeper, baby. That's that knowledge piece. But you only learn stuff like that when you truly out here grinding and really paying attention and really got, again, that mental piece. So from September to November, bro, I went from not being able to bench 225, not lifting, period. Like, I didn't lift the weight at all, my guy. Within 2 to 3 months, I was benching. I was like 130 something. Bro, I had got down to 118 pounds. People thought I had got sick. But again, I had built myself. I had flipped that switch. I had got down to 118 pounds, bro. Let me repeat, man. I had got down to 118 pounds, bro. So from September to November, bro, I got back up to like 130 something. Within 2 to 3 months, I was bench pressing 290, 300, bro. So in 2 to 3 months, being 118, put a little mass back on, I was out benching people that's been lifting the whole year. And I'm 2 to 3 times their size small.
They got to be furious.
Exactly. For real. They are. They are right now, for real. They are for real. Like, for real, they are.
What do you do your own programming? Does somebody give you the programming, or do you just do 1,000 repetitions?
Bro. I write everything. I do meal plans. I do training plans, bro. I sell everything. I'm a mentor. Like, I mentor people. I do everything, man. I do consultation.
Yeah.
I mean, really, man, whatever it is that literally, this is what I do. Like, Pro Longevity Fitness, that is my fitness company. Then I do blood, sweat, God, right? I sell apparel too. Blood, sweat, God, baby. This is what it takes to be great, baby. You got to be willing to sacrifice blood, sweat, and for God, baby.
Yeah.
Period.
So
that's what it takes.
When you're doing your workouts, are you periodizing any of the lifts? Are you lifting every single day, all the muscles?
Bro, so I have evolutions. Like, for real, like, you gotta, you know Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
You ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, like at Goku and Vegeta, right? At different levels of their transformations.
That's the best part of the show. They just level up.
Exactly. But they train differently.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you Super Saiyan 1, you train differently at 2, at 3. Then when you get God level 1, you know what I'm saying? Now you Ultra Instinct, mastered Ultra Instinct. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So all those different levels, you're not the same person, so you train different. Yeah. So that's how it is with me. Like, when a person asks me, how do I train? Like, when I first started out, like, yes, I had everything. Like, now the plans that I give to people is the plan that it takes to become me.
Right.
Like, everything down to the T. Like, you know exactly what to do every day. You see what I'm saying? But the guy that I am now, or as I transform and start running farther and doing all this stuff, my training is so unorthodox. Because you got to understand, bro, like I say, I run 40 miles and I lift weights. And I run, I run 25 miles, I lift weights, and I run another 20. Who does that? For real, like, dead serious. Like, that's not really a plan. So I can't give a normal person what I do now.
Yeah.
Like, what I do now, no. Yeah. The only person that can do what I do now is David Goggins and other greats. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, just being facts. Like, so what I do personally, like no other human other than people like him can really do what I do. But as far as in my training plans themselves,
right.
like how I don't do back days and all of that, right? And I still have it kind of set up like that now, but it's kind of different. Yeah. But like Monday and Friday is my upper body day.
Okay.
So Monday will be my heavyweight day. Friday will be my lightweight day. And then Wednesday and Sunday will be my lower body day. So Wednesday will be my lightweight day. Sunday will be my heavyweight day. Running will be every day.
Yeah.
Now the distance and the intensity would differ. Obviously 6 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that would differ. Ab work every day. So as I'm doing upper body Monday and Friday, lower body Wednesday and Sunday, I'm doing ab every day.
Yeah.
I'm running every day. Tuesday and Thursday is my high intensity day. So Tuesday is my heavyweight high intensity day. Thursday is my lightweight high intensity day. So what I mean by that is I'm doing burpees, I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing body squats, I'm doing kettlebell swings. So I'm doing all these different exercises, like probably like a whole 3-4 rotations with about 8 to 9 different exercises I do all the time. This is like my next level, God level workout. Like,
yeah. So how long is that high intensity go for?
Oh, bro, I do that like an hour and a half because it's like 3-4 rotations. So like my high rep day, look, this I'm gonna give you the routine because I posted it. So this is routine right here. I'm gonna give it to you. So I could do anywhere from 3 to 5 pull-ups, pulling. I just posted this video pulling like 100 and some pounds, like 110, 120 pounds, or I do anywhere from 30 to 100 pull-ups on my high rep day. I follow that with, again, I'll get the heavyweight ball, 15 pounds. I'll do anywhere from 500 or 250 to 500. That's a set. Or on my high rep day.
That's a set?
That's a set. Now, and look, you got to listen. So everything I'm telling you is constantly. I'm not stopping. So every exercise I'm telling you, I'm finishing this one behind the other. Like, listen, I'm finishing these exercises one behind the other. So do you hear me though? You got to keep listening.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, we're 2 hours and 16 minutes in, and I think that's the first drink of water I've seen you have.
Exactly. So yeah. So on my high rep there, I'll do 1,000 reps or 2,000 reps with a 6-pound ball. So I'll go from that to kettlebell swings. So I'll get a 10-pound kettlebell each arm on my lightweight day and do about 250 forward. Or I'll take a 45-pound plate each arm and do like 5 to 10. Or I'll take a 25-pound plate and do about 15 to 25. I'll move from that and go side to side each arm. So 10 pounds, I'll do 100 to 250. I'll switch to the other arm and do 100 to 250. Or again, I'll take the 25-pound or the 45-pound plate and do anywhere from 10 to 15, 25 reps each arm. I'll go from there. I'll do body squats. Sometimes I'll hold a 45-pound plate and I'll do thrusters, do about 15, 20. Or I'll do body weight and I'll do about 200 to 600. So I'll go from the body squats, I'll do push-ups. I'll put a 45-pound on my back, plate on my back, and I'll do anywhere from 10 to 50. I'll take the 45-pound plate off and I'll do anywhere from like just straight push-ups and do anywhere from like 80 to almost 150 to 200. Now, all of these, and again, this workout differs depending on what level I am. God stand, Ultra Instinct, because again, depending on where I'm training or what I'm training for, dictates what level of my conditioning I am at. You see what I mean? So I'll go from the push-up, then I'll do post squats. Same thing, holding the weights or without the weights. I'll go from the post squat, and all this is nonstop. This is one set. I hadn't stopped yet. This set isn't over with yet. And look, people see me at the gym. Wow, like you gotta understand, this is how I became this guy that you wanted to see. This is how people see me. They see me as a superhero. So I'll go from that and I'll do dip. Same thing, I'll get the same 110 pounds and do like 3 to 5 dips, or I'll do body weight and do anywhere from 100 to 200. I'll go from the dips and I'll do forward press. So I'll do the same thing. I'll grab a 25-pound plate and do about 100 to 150. Or I'll grab like a 45-pound plate and do about 20, 25, 30. Then I'll do curls. I'll grab the same 25-pound plate and do about 100 to 150 curls. and then I do the 45 plate, or I do like 15 to 25. That's a set. So depending on my level or what I'm trying to gain, right, or what I'm working on, I'll do that. I'll keep going. 3-4 rotations, non-stop. Let me repeat. Everything that I just told you, I go 3 rotations, 4 rotations, non-stop. Now check this out though. Check this out. Depending on my heavyweight day, I'll probably rest. Probably like a minute or 2 or 3. Then I'll start back. Now, here's the kicker. When I reach Ultra Instinct, now this is Ultra Instinct. That same rotation I just told you, I'll go run repeats on the treadmill after each set. So I'll go run a mile on the treadmill, then come back, finish another one, go back again. That's at my highest level.
What are people saying at the gym?
They look at me like I'm crazy. They think I'm crazy. Like most people, some people are inspired.
Well,
some people say, man, that dude must be in the NFL. People thought I was a triathlete, an Ironman. Bro, they call me Spider-Man. They call me all types of crazy stuff. Some people say I'm crazy.
They call me everything, bro. They're not there long enough to see your full workout.
Exactly, bro. Like, you don't understand. Like, when I used to tell you I used to work out 8-9 hours, bro, I still do it now, but not as much. Because,
Right.
Again, I'm at a different level now. I've reached my pinnacle. So I do it, my more intense workouts now, I get more out of having to work out as long.
Yeah.
You feel me? Unless I'm having to train for a long race where I need that mental intellect to be able to push. You see what I'm saying? So I used to go to the gym. I ain't gonna say used to. I go to the gym because it just depends on what I'm training for.
Right.
I go to the gym at 5:30, 5 or 6. I start working out. I see the morning people. And look, when I do my 5,000 air reps, bro, you know how long that take me? About an hour and a half or 2. So an hour and a half or 2 of my workout is just on abs alone. So that'll take me like 2 hours. From there, I'll do just say if I'm doing upper body, I'm doing anywhere from like 3 to 4 sets. I hate lifting weights, just to put that out there, but I do it because, again, I know it needs to be done. If I'm doing quality sets, right, it's going to take me at least an hour or 2 to get that. That's 3-4 hours right there I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go swim or get in the sauna. If I do the sauna first, I'm being up about an hour, hour and a half. Then if I swim, again, I'm at Ultra Instinct level. I'm going to give you my highest, what I've done, my highest level, my Ultra Instinct master.
Let's hear it.
You know what I'm saying? So then I'll swim like a mile, mile and a half. I'll get out and then I'll get back in the sun again for an hour, hour or 2. So that's me being at the gym for about 10 to 12 hours. The longest I've been at the gym working out, and then I didn't even mention my run. So 99% of the time I run before I make it to the gym. Not when I'm training for my longer races, but when I'm doing anything from like 6 to 13, 15 miles. I'll run that before I go to the gym. So I wake up 5, 6, run anywhere. My normal mileage for about a year and a half was like nothing less than 12 miles. Like most of my morning, I wake up up until I start training for that 50-mile race. For almost a year, I was running nothing less than 12, almost most of the time, unless I took a day off or something like that.
I think I ran that this month.
But yeah, man, so I was waking up. I run 6 to 13, 14, 15 miles. Then I would go do my abs. So those 13 miles, at my best, take me about an hour. If I ain't even really pushing the pace, like an hour, 40 minutes. That's still pretty fast. That's like a high 6-7 minute pace. That's not me really trying though. You see what I'm saying? So I'll go do that real fast. I'll wake that up, knock that out real quick. Then I'll go to the gym, start on my abs. And then on my high intensity day, I'll do my abs. Then I'll do my high intensity day. That took about an hour and a half right there. Then I hit the sauna. The sauna is the best part. That's why I had to buy my own sauna when the pandemic hit. I bought this for my birthday back in August. My birthday was September the 2nd.
There you go.
So I sit in the sauna, and that's where most of my life-changing events for the people happen too. Like I'd help so many people change their lives just being in the sauna, like me being in the sauna working. And people coming there like, wow, like they come in there and they come back an hour later when they about to leave and I'm still in there. Like, bro, like imagine you come to the gym and you see me on the ab machine at 8 o'clock. You go and do your whole workout, then swam, the lifted weights, and you come back out, I'm still on that same ab machine. That's respect. That's respect, like for real. That's how I became the guy. And that's why I told you, like, when I started back in 2013, right? When I flipped that switch,
Yeah.
When I lost all that weight and I started working out, I was just different, bro. I've been different. Obviously, I just told you everything I did. But the world didn't see me though.
Yeah.
People hadn't really saw me really like work. Because most of my work was done inside of a company.
Right.
Like the jobs I was working for. I hadn't really started interacting with the real world, doing something. Because I was what? Living it up, right? Drinking and doing stuff.
Yeah. Calamari.
Well, you see what I'm saying? So once I started really going out there and putting my work on display, bro, like that's when, like this is the third podcast I've done. That's a blessing, baby. I had one last year. A lady just interviewed me actually 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
And now look at you. So
catching up.
It just goes to show, man, hard work pays off, baby.
Absolutely. So if someone was to find you, where would they find you on social media, your website, and then what were your offerings again?
Okay, man. So you can basically find me on my website is prolongevityfitness.com. So prolongevityfitness.com. My Facebook is Prolongevity Fitness.
Got it.
My Instagram, Prolongevity Fitness.
Okay.
Blood, Sweat, God. My TikTok, Prolongevity Fitness. You know what I mean? So pretty much, if you find my website, there's a link that's gonna shoot you to one of those.
Yeah.
If you find, even if you, my other social media for Instagram, Blood, Sweat, God.
Okay.
So if you find any one of those, it's gonna lead you back to something else.
Yeah.
To a link to some other version of me. But the thing is, bro, and I'm glad that I need to say this right now. It don't matter which one of those you find me on, I'm the same person.
Yeah.
Like, no lie. Like, I'm not the guy that got a Twitter account, but I got certain stuff posted on Facebook.
Right.
And I got certain stuff posted. No. I'm the same person. I don't spend my life transforming for different places.
Right.
I am who I am.
Yeah.
Facebook, I'm a lion. Instagram, I'm a lion. TikTok, I'm a lion, baby. My only goal is to help people across the globe, baby.
Yeah.
To become better versions of themselves. Whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually, baby. And it don't matter where you find me. In my home sauna, running in the woods, in the gym sauna, on a trail somewhere, baby.
Yeah.
This is the guy that you get right here.
So,
even at my job.
Yeah. How did you get into saunas and why did that become such a big thing for you?
Bro, so I'm gonna tell you this right here. This so high level, man. I'm gonna try to, because when I talk, man, my mind be all over the place. That's why I was asking you a few times, like, what was your question?
Yeah.
So, you know, I run in the heat a lot, right?
Yep.
So during those times, and I'm gonna segue into the question you asked.
Yep. So
during those times, man, a lot of people just ask me, like, how do I run so much in that much heat without dying, pretty much? So during those times I ran in the heat, man, at those extreme temperatures for that many miles, I run in sweatshirts and stuff. So look, I'm the opposite. When it's cold, I don't put no clothes on. When it's hot, I layer up.
Yeah.
Again, it's all about training the mind to be strong when it's weak. If it's cold, like David Goggins said, and I'm off topic, but I'm gonna get back on topic. When he was in Navy SEAL training, baby, when he just posted this video, he said the reason why most people fail, because like I told you earlier, most people pray for stuff not to happen. David Goggins was like me. He prayed for it to be colder. And it sounds so crazy. Like, for real.
Love it.
Like, if you pray for bad times to come, any glimpse of hope, bro, you winning. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, that is where Goggins and we on the same page. Like, you don't understand, bro. If you pray for the water to get colder, and shit, if just that shit just feel like it get warmer just by a tad bit, you winning. So the whole point that I was making is what we just talking about again?
Just how you got into sauna.
Oh yeah. So basically I was running in the heat, right? So during this time I was running the heat, and I was running the sweatshirts and stuff and
So
jogging
you're
pants.
already doing the sweating and whatnot.
So, but the thing is, during those times, it's like 108 degrees, 103 degrees. So instead of me being weakened, I got more energy. So in my mind now, I'm gonna tell you where I'm leading to this. So during those times, I'm wondering, like, bro, like the other day it was like 60 degrees, 65 degrees. I felt more fatigued. But today it's like 95, 103, or 80, 85 with a 95% humidity. But I'm moving more faster and I'm doing more stuff. Like when I run, bro, I do 14 miles. I'm doing burpees in between, push-ups, body squats. Bro, you see me down the highway. I even ran 18 miles with an elevation mask on in 103-degree heat. So I'm doing all these things and I'm wondering, like, dang, but how do I have more energy and more fuel on the days when it's extremely hot?
Yeah.
So now we fast forwarding. So I started going to okay, this is another sidebar. So when I start training for my 50-mile race, I know my end goal, you know my end goal is, right? To run the
Moab?
In Death Valley.
Okay.
The 135-mile race in Death Valley, California, 130 degrees. So at that time, I started thinking like, man, so how would I survive 135 miles and 130-degree heat? Everything I'm about to tell you is so crazy and, man, it's just so coincidental. So basically, the first thing I discovered when I researched was desert lions. Now, you probably wondering, like, what desert lions got to do about?
That's right up your alley.
Exactly. But the thing is, right, you know what's so amazing about desert lions? Before they adapted to the desert, many of them died. Before they evolved to where they became cactus-like, to go weeks without water and weeks without food and extreme heat. So, okay, because again, but that took evolution though.
Right.
However, if indeed you train in an area so much, right, eventually you adapt.
Right.
Period. Now I might not become a desert lion, you know, but it's still, obviously, the whole point of that was how they became adapted to the desert extreme heat, but was by living in the heat. And over time, they evolved and adapted. So that's one way, spending time in it, you evolve and you adapt. Now, the second one, bro, this is the cheat code to life, bro. This is truly the cheat code to life. So here's the thing, bro. I'm going to say this. And go do your research. I want you to go do research. Heat shock proteins, stress proteins. So again, heat shock proteins, stress proteins. They're microfilaments at the cellular level that are activated when the body is placed under extreme levels of stress. So again, they're microfilaments at the cellular level that are activated when the body is placed under extreme levels of stress. What do we do as humans that place the body under extreme levels of stress?
Running
Working
103-degree weather?
Exactly. Or running in 37-degree cold.
Yeah.
Fasting. That's why I fast 8 days. And people wonder, how can you do it? Heat shock proteins. How can I run 3,400 miles and do most of my running in extreme heat? Heat shock proteins. They surface. And literally, based on research, they surface and they stay active weeks at a time. Which means the more you actually place your body on the more levels of stress, the more heightened they become. But obviously, at some point, they flatten out, right? But the whole concept of the whole situation is Wolverine. Like, right? Literally, he heals himself at an extreme rapid rate. That's what the body does when the heat shock proteins, like, basically surface. So it's kind of like saying a normal person, if your body isn't acclimated to extreme heat, you have a stroke because the brain isn't getting enough efficient blood from the heart. However, when the heat shock protein surface, guess what happens? That canal that is responsible for sending the oxygen-rich blood, it rebuilds itself. Now you don't have a heat stroke. Now you wonder why, but it's so common sense like now. And it all makes sense. You wonder why people that work out all their lives, they age gracefully.
Yeah.
They look younger naturally. A vegan lifestyle. I've been vegan for 3 years.
Okay.
So all of this, when you go vegan, right? I even went alkaline vegan during the time when I got down to 118 pounds last year. I went alkaline vegan for 45 days. So when you go alkaline vegan, that's when you only eat food or fruits from that come from a seed.
Okay.
So I was only eating like a handful of stuff. Like literally, when I say a handful, bro. So for 45 days, I was eating like really like nothing.
Yeah.
Like literally like, cause you know, most stuff is like man-made. Broccoli, they ain't natural. Like that ain't even healthy. Like when you look at the fat side, that ain't even healthy because that was man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally most fruits and veggies, bro, was made by man. Regular bananas, made by man.
They used to be a lot smaller.
Exactly. And those are the ones that you eat that are actually made from the seed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So all of that stuff, bro, that I do help me train for, and you know, you know, how was you able to run 50 miles with COVID-19? You know, and how was I able to still train and do things after COVID-19? After the race, I ran 16 miles with an extreme headache. But so all of that basically, and that's how and you know, the same thing with cancer treatment. Guess what? Heat shock proteins are being basically tested in a lab to help cure cancer. Mm-hmm. However, that's the reason why they use heat training with cancer.
Yeah.
Because that extreme heat, guess what they do with the body, the cells in the body? They make them grow rapidly.
Yep.
To fight out the cancer. So man, like literally, bro, like all of that, man, like in itself just was like, wow.
Yeah, we're in it.
Heat shock proteins, stress proteins. But you got to think about this too, man. Like I tell people this, I just started thinking about this, bro. Like think about right now. Like you say you might not be as fit as you think. But just as David Goggins says, right? We always, when you think you got nothing left, you still got another 60%. But here's the thing though, bro. Wonder if everybody was able to tap into that 60% like me and David Goggins.
Right.
Like most people, you know, when they tap into that, if a lion walked through that door right now, I bet you right now, you could jump from sitting down right now on top of your desk. Literally right now. But it took that level of adrenaline to make you do it.
Right.
What happens when everybody can tap into that at will, though? But I was just telling a friend today, because everybody come to me advice. You know, the world isn't meant for everybody to be great.
That was going to be my next question.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, like, it's a two side to this coin, though. It's like the world isn't meant for everybody to be great. And if you do mediocre work, don't expect to be great. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you want to be mediocre, that's totally okay. Like, if that's who you want to be, like, I'm for you, man. Like, if you just want to be above average, that is cool. Yeah. Like, there's a place for you. If you want to be bare minimum guy, dude, fist bump me, I'm going to be your best friend. Like, yes, man. Like, I'm going to still motivate you, but if you don't want to do no more, man, like, it ain't meant for you to do it, that's cool. Because guess what? The world needs mediocre people.
Yeah.
It needs average people. It needs above average people. But it needs gorillas as well, baby. But guess what? Everybody ain't meant for this lifestyle. It ain't. Like, it'll eat you up alive, baby. Like David Goggins say, like I tell people, bro, like, people don't understand, man, like, really, like, I can see life from David Goggins, man, because I'm right there with him. Like, people don't understand, like, bro, like, when you running 28-degree heat weather, bro, cold, like, I'm be real with you, adrenaline, right, will get you through that first mile. Look real. You got 30 miles, you got 4 ways of rain, 37 degrees. Adrenaline gonna get you through the first one, baby. It might even get you through 2, 3. Photo, 5. It ain't exciting no more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, baby. Rain still coming. You freezing, fingers numb, toes numb, body locking up, mind shutting down, mile 20. You still ain't stopping. You can't defeat me. So the point that I'm making is the guy that does mediocre work, don't expect to stand at the top of the mountain with the champion. You halfway, baby. That's the workload you chose. Live it up. You have not earned to be up here. So that's where people need to come in agreement with themselves.
Right.
Like, really be true to yourself. Like, I'm not a mediocre guy.
Nope.
I'm not an okay guy. I'm not a slightly above average guy. I'm not even above average, bro. I'm not even 100% guy. I'm like 150% and above, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I do. And when you become that person, like life, like when, and the whole point that I'm making is, I wouldn't even lead to this point, but I'm making it now. Bro, like when you live your life like that, like I just put this up, I actually posted this today or yesterday, that you don't have to chase success. Success chases you. Cause look, you found me.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, that's the prime example that I just made, man. Like, when you do beyond, you know, great things, bro, and you don't really, like, for me, I do this off instinct, as I say. You feel me? I got a headache. I don't care. Get up and do it. My wife yelled at me. I got to do it. My son doing bad in school. I got to do it. I lost my job. I got to do it. It's hot outside. I got to do it. I got my ankle hurt. I got to do it. I got COVID-19. I got to do it. I got a stomach virus. I ran a 15K with a stomach virus, still completed it. Dehydrated with the work. Shouldn't have been managed to try to send me home. I stayed. I'm a gorilla. Off instinct, baby. Off instinct. Bro, I got bit by a spider with a staph infection. I almost died. My manager made me go to the doctor. I was still working out everything. I had to really cut almost not half my back, but a good chunk of my back out. But my pain tolerance so high, bro. Like, when your pain tolerance so high, like Goggins, bro, like when people look at Goggins' foot, like, no lie, this dude posted his feet, bro, because I got bad feet too. I've been through pain, bro, like, so I understand Goggins, like, bro, like, our pain tolerance is so high, like, we could be dead almost and would be laughing, like, for real. Like this, like that's Goggins. Like, I know Goggins because that's me. Bro, when I cut my finger off, you know what? I was 20, 21, 20. My mom came and picked me up, bro. We was headed to the hospital. I was laughing in the truck. We pulled up and got out of the truck. I was holding my finger in my hand, laughing. My mom said, boy, you better go here acting like you dying. Act like you dying. Bro, your finger off, hanging in your hand. And you laughing. What is wrong with you, man? Bro, I broke my shoulder in the 8th grade, bro. A guy hit me. 7th grade, 8th grade, yeah, 8th grade. I rode on the bus, bro, back. And it took the doctor that was opposed. I don't even know. I still don't even understand this neither, bro. Like, the stuff that I went through, it don't make no sense to me, bro. It took these people like a whole week to have surgery on me, bro. I don't even make no sense. You mean one doctor, one surgery? What? For real. So, bro, I'm sitting with a broke shoulder. My bone broke off of my shoulder floating around. I still don't have full motion. But guess what? It don't stop me. When I lift my shoulder now, it hurt. I still bench over but over my body weight. It don't stop me, bro. So, again, bro, like dead serious, bro. Turf toe. How did a man run with turf toe running 3,400 miles? Come on, like dead serious. Like, I'm being real, man. Like, cut off finger, bro. It can't stop me, bro. It can't stop me, bro. Like, nothing gonna stop me, bro. Nothing gonna stop me, man. It's genetically in my brain, man.
It's there. And I think we've definitely determined that's where it's coming from. So to wrap this up, The last two questions that I ask everybody: what is your definition of health? What are you striving for? Not the dictionary definition, but what is health to you?
Man, so health to me, man, because here's the thing. Being fit and being healthy isn't the same. You can be fit and not be healthy, and you can be healthy and not be fit. But my definition of health, generally speaking, is to live a long quality life, man. Simply put, I'm 40, right?
Yep.
Most people that interact with me most people don't even think I got a wife and 4 kids. When I shave my beard off, bro, like I got gray hair here, but once I shave my beard off, I can't even buy beer. People like, yeah. I'm like, bro, I had to argue with a guy buying beer the other day. Like, I buy beer from here all the time. But I mean, like, yeah, man, being my company, right? Pro Longevity Fitness is to prolong life through physical fitness and healthy living. So it's all about just having a balanced lifestyle, man. Having a, nice quality life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because here's the thing, and this is what people lose it. You can't have one without the other. You can't. You see what you feel me?
Yeah.
You can't be healthy physically and damaged here. You can't be healthy spiritually and be damaged physically. Or you can't give 100% on one, 30% here, 10% here.
Mm-hmm.
You could. There are people that try to do it, but guess what? It don't end well.
Yeah.
So you got to be pristine in all of those things. But that's like me being pristine in my overall life, though.
Yeah.
Like my marriage life. I ain't perfect, but I do everything in my power to make sure my wife is happy.
Right.
My kids. I ain't the best dad, perfect, right? But I raise my kids and I do for them, and I make sure that they have, I'm not gonna say what I didn't have, but make sure they experience their childhood, because I know what I lacked, right? And I want them to be able to grow old and be like, not what if, to enjoy the childhood. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even for my company, Blood, Sweat, God, baby, apparel. I got it on. I promote it. My business, Pro Longevity Fitness, same thing, baby. I live the life that I talk about. I train hard. I speak. I help people across the globe. Anybody inbox me, bro. Anybody text me. Anybody see me out. Anybody ask me any questions. Guess what? I'm an open book, man. Like, I'm not too proud. I'm not money driven, bro. Like, really, I'm just here to really be a beacon for God, bro. Like, really, that's what I'm really doing, filling out my godly purpose, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I really believe God placed me on this world to help the world. Because back then, like I said, when I promised my mom I would help change the world, that was my why. But I didn't know my how, though. Yep. Now, you just helped me. Like, I didn't know how this would happen. Now, out of the different people that interviewed me, now, you became one of my hows. But I didn't know that, though. But, I mean, it's my faith. You know what I mean? But back to the initial question, man, it's just having about you living a long quality life, man. That's what, and really, not even that. Health in itself, man, is only two major components: the brain and the heart. The brain and the heart. Now, because any other part of your body you can live without almost. Mm-hmm. A kidney you can still live without. A kidney you can live without. A leg cut off you can live without. You know what I'm saying? A lung, you know what I'm saying? They can give you a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But your heart stop, bro.
Game.
You know what I'm saying? Your brain stop. You know what I mean? So really, that's why most of my training, like you see me, when we talked about all that stuff to begin with, now this is the why all that stuff.
Right.
So all of that training that you see me doing, sitting in the sauna, running in the heat, doing all these different exercises, mixing my exercises up, doing all this crazy stuff in extreme cold, in extreme heat. All of that trains two of my most important parts of my body, my heart and my brain.
Well, there you go. So
you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So my heart is always at its best. Even at my worst, and I'm not saying I can't die. Anybody can die. But even at my worst, I am still better than the average man, because obviously the amount of training I've done, I've conditioned myself to withstand bigger hits. So that's what true health comes down to. Really eating the right foods and training the right way to ensure that each of your body parts function the right way. Because even when I fast 8 days, guess what? My digestive system never take a hit, baby. So it's so crazy. It's kind of like I pay so close attention to how my body reacts to the stuff I eat.
Yeah.
That I know, that's one of the ways I know when I'm not really healthy as I need to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I'm not releasing on normal occasion. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because people don't understand, like when you're not really, and that's a whole nother topic, but we here now. When you're not really getting that bacteria out of your system, it's staying in you.
Yep.
And some people, like, I'm like, bro, like 50 gazillion times regular, right? But some people, you got to understand, bro, they go every couple of days. And look how much food you eat, bro. Some people go once a day, if that. And you wonder why you got headaches, your stomach hurt, you got heart problems, but you feel where I'm going.
For sure.
You still got food in your body that you ate 4 days ago. On top of the food you just ate, on top of the food you ate this morning, on top of the food you ate 2 days ago.
Gotta go somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's still in your body, where is it else it's going? It's harming other parts of your body, man. So that's why it's good to eat fiber, because it helps you be regular. And I don't, since we're on right now, I don't even take any supplements. Okay. I'm not a believer in medicine. I solely believe in letting my body. Now, obviously, to a certain level, if I need to see a doctor or whatnot, yes, I will do what I need to do. Now, I don't prevent my kids from going to the doctor.
Yeah.
But me, as what I believe in, like I let my body do what God created it to do.
Yeah.
And God created the body to heal itself, period.
Doing a pretty good job.
If you give yourself a paper cut or any type of cut or whatever, your body's gonna heal itself. Even if it can't, it's gonna do everything in its power to do so until it can't. So if indeed we eat right, so here's the kicker right here. The body doesn't control us. We control the body, man. From the people we hang around to the things we place. I started watching TV 8+ years ago.
Yeah.
I'm more of a minimalist type of guy. Like I need the minimal thing. Obviously, you know me now, so you know I don't really need much to survive.
Yeah.
But the whole point that I'm making is, like, what was I just saying? Like
just not watching TV, focusing on your own health. You get to tell your body what it's going to be doing.
Oh yeah. So look, like you good, bro. Like you good. Like you are really good. So yes, the food. But you know what? You know what I told one of my homies, if I ever become great, I'm gonna have like 3 people surrounding me to always keep me on track. So what was that? What did you just say?
Well, just on your body isn't telling you what to do. You're telling your body what to do.
Yeah. So for the food that we eat, right? The people we hang around, the water that we drink, everything that we do, we expose our minds to control how we feel and how we perform.
Right.
So literally, that is true health. Not just like health physically, right?
Right.
Because if you're not getting rest, you're not going to be healthy. If you're around negativity every day, you're not going to be healthy. If you're working at a job that you hate, you're not going to be healthy.
Nope.
You feel what I'm saying? So if you're watching the news every night and everybody on there getting killed every night, you're not going to be healthy, bro. Like, real.
Not a good place.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff that takes place, man, like, and you know, the crazy thing is, like, when people say bad thing about the president or anybody, right? Anybody. Like, for me, I don't allow, that don't affect me. You know why? Because I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
I don't have a negative viewpoint. You feel me? Because I haven't exposed myself to this rhetoric that people say. Mm-hmm. Because again, whether it's the media or whether it's humans, if you allow it, because again, and you know, my whole thing is, right, as a man thinketh, he becometh, right? So how do you get a man to change? You change the way he thinks. You change the way he thinks, you change who and what he becomes.
100%. So for one thing that you think someone listening to the podcast could take away for their life, obviously we went through hundreds of them, but what is
on it for real?
what is one thing that you think that someone could take away as a positive for their life?
Man, let's see, man. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, cause I talk a lot, man. But really, man, just always look. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Always see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if there's no light to be seen. And what that means is, like I said earlier, man, always know whatever goal you set for yourself, always know that you've already reached it. Mm-hmm. Like, know. Yeah. Like, you see what I'm saying? Know that you reached it. Like, and that's the light at the end of the tunnel. Because whether you get help or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at me in front of you right now. The light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't know how, but I always saw the light. I knew it would happen. So always knowing that you will get to where you're trying to go. However, you must be willing to put in the work, period. Mm-hmm. So if you're not willing to put in the work, do not expect to receive something for the work you did not put in.
Right.
So that's really it, man. Always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but don't expect for that light to assist if you're not willing to put in the work. And don't expect to receive an achievement for the work you didn't put in. That's it, man. Like, anything great in life requires work. Yep. Greatness, right? I didn't say okay, mediocre, or good. Greatness, baby. If you want to be something different, I mean, that's what I tell people. Yep. My goal is to be something completely different, baby. When your goal is to be something completely different, guess what you got to do? Your actions got to be completely different. Mm-hmm. How you maneuver must be completely different.
Absolutely. Well, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Man, it was a pleasure. You know, when you said we've been on here for 2 hours, man, and when you started out, I was like, hey, I'm like, man, that's gonna feel like a long time. But I always tell people, like, for real, I'm long-winded, bro, and I can talk, man. Like,
yeah. Hey, we made it.
I didn't even hit like everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
hey, part 2 at some point coming up.
Come on, baby. You know what I mean? But I really appreciate you for having me, man. Like, yeah. I'm ecstatic, bro. Like, really, I'm grateful, man. May God bless you for blessing me, man. Like,
thank you.
Make all of your goals, like, you know, prosper tenfold, man. I want you to become the best, you know, podcast host, provider that you can become, man. Because guess what? The higher you rise, now guess what? The higher I rise, baby.
There we go.
So I'm a part of you now, man, and you're a part of me.
Yeah,
so,
I'm all in on that.
Same with me, baby. The higher I rise, and I need somebody else to put me out there, baby, you know, we right here.
There we go.
So we right here with one another, man. So most definitely, I want to see you become even greater, man.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it for sure. I'm going to pause that recording real quick.